What's going on, guys? It's your boy Mo and the Dashing One. We are coming back at you with another episode of the Wrestling Bros podcast. Episode 3, WPB episode 3. Third week in a row. Can we keep it going? We're gonna sure keep trying. This week's topic, the WWE Draft. That's right. We're going to take you on a little journey on where we think each and every, about a lot of them, where they're going to go. But before we deep dive into it, I'm going to send it over to the Dashing One himself, the man with the fresh cut. What's up, D? How you doing, brother?
What is up? What up to everybody tuning in? We got 11 people chimed in for this prediction show. We're basically going to go over just about 95% of the roster and kind of give our predictions of where they're going to get drafted. A lot of people are going to be doing it next week, so we thought we'd do it a week early, push it out a week early just to get it done so that not a lot of people are doing it around the same time. It's easy to do that. Not a lot of stuff to talk about this week. Not a lot going on. Only had a really good NXT, a good Raw, but with a lot on the plate next week, we figured we posted out a week early. Got 14 people chimed in now. What's good, boys? From Dylan from the Roar Elite podcast. Definitely check them out on YouTube. Very good podcast with him, with Jordan, and with Marcus. But, we're going to start out with the champions. We're going to work our way down from the top tier to the mid card to the lower tier. I really didn't put in too crazy of an order. Just we're going to start out with the champions, go from here. We want to hear what you guys are thinking in the chat. Definitely chime in your takes as well. We're going to try and post all the comments as we get them. We want to make this like a full, a family joint thing where it's not just us two. You guys can make your picks as well. So you guys feel like you're participating in the predictions. This is always a fun time when we have the draft. So.
Yeah, man, that's kind of how we do things. We like to be interactive. Before we deep dive into it, because once we hit the ground running, we're gonna start talking about it. I want to take care of some business. Want to thank everybody that subscribed. We about doubled our subscribe count since last time we were rolling 7 days ago. So appreciate y'all rocking with us on that. Had some videos. Keep commenting. Keep asking questions. We're gonna keep trying to respond to the comments. And your boy's going to give you just a quick couple seconds with us being a new YouTube channel, building a new brand on all these different platforms, but specifically YouTube. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Going to be quiet, hand up accountability. Good. So you don't miss nothing. We'll give you a count to 10. Hit that subscribe button. Come join the squad. Let's see those subscribers go up. This is more for the replay than the live people, but live people too. If you could subscribe, that would be awesome. And hit those likes. So let's get in that algorithm. So I'm gonna give you a quick 10. Ten seconds. All right. So hopefully,
What time is it?
I believe it's Tiffy time. Tiffy time, baby. So hope you hit that subscribe button. We're not going to keep bothering you about it the whole time. So let's dig into it, Cage Rage. What you got up first for us?
Okay, of course, we're going to start with the man of the hour, the MVP, the winner of the main event of WrestleMania 40. I was gracious enough to be able to go to this event and see him win the title from the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. We got the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Nice. We talked about, this is the only one we talked a little bit about before we went live. we were both
Yeah.
kind of thinking one way, but you did say something that you're kind of right. It wouldn't make sense to do that, but it's just me personally. My insides are telling me that Cody's going to get drafted to Raw because of the Netflix deal. They want the biggest, they want the most popular there for when Raw goes to Netflix. Now we have some time in between. Maybe they can do some okey doke to get him there, but I'm going to go with our original or our after we had a little discussion. I think he's going to stay on SmackDown. I'll let you say the reason why.
Yeah, this is tough because you would think we got Raw, the bigger show. You usually get the bigger audience because it's 3 hours on USA, even though Fox has produced a lot of great numbers for the WWE. They're going to Netflix. You're going to be able to do a lot with that. But then he was already on Raw. You figure, okay, let's switch things up. But, my thought process now is they just announced that he was moved over to SmackDown the other day because he's technically the champion on that brand. So you technically have to move him over. Why would they move him from Raw to SmackDown and then the week before the draft? Then the week of the draft, move him back over to Raw. So I'm on that mindset that he's going to be on SmackDown, especially with the fact that there's going to be that 2-3 month span from from October to January where we really don't know where Raw is going to be after the deal with USA's up because they already said that they're not going to extend it. So there's really no idea. And you want to keep your big guy on the brand that's getting the most views on YouTube and on TV because SmackDown's on a weekly basis with one less hour overproduced in views and count wise over Raw. So I think he's going to SmackDown.
Nice, I like that. I think we can lock him in.
Yeah, let's lock that in. We're trying to keep an on it. You know what? Let's do this. I'll put that there so I can keep track.
Bring up some graphics as we go.
Yeah, but I got that. So we got that there. D said, because I wouldn't look right with the Raw having two heavyweight champions, which we'll get to that next because the next guy is the World Heavyweight Champion. By the way, they renamed the SmackDown title the WWE Universal Champion again. It's not that the whole long name. They've shortened it again now that Cody is the champion. But now we got the World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest from Judgment Day. I'll start this one off here. I think he gets drafted to Raw. I think with how the Judgment Day is, they've been a great rendition to Raw. Raw is 3 hours. They try and use the whole group as much as possible. You got to have, if you're going to have one champion on SmackDown, you got to have the other one on Raw. I think just like D says, Priest is staying on Raw. I think it just fits. Like if we would have had Cody on Raw, I would have put Priest on SmackDown. You kind of have to split them up. So for right now, I got him on Raw. I think especially with the Netflix deal here, I think it just works wonders for what they can do with the guys because they really have that edgier side to them that they can do a lot with.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm saying that if we're going to go Cody on SmackDown, we have to go Priest on Raw. Plus, like you said, they've been a good anchor to Raw. And I think that they can continue to build him up. Plus, I don't think he's going to be champion by the time Netflix gets
here. Yeah, I wouldn't think so. You never know. But I think he could be a guy that maybe is champion for 6 months. But I'd be surprised if he holds it that long. But he's definitely going to stay in that main event scene. They definitely have high hopes for him. Yeah. They just got to see how he works with the belt right now, see how he can carry these rivalries that he has on until, especially with the first one. We'll get into his opponent a little later, but like we said, with us going us going Rhodes to SmackDown, we are going to go Priest to Raw. So right there, lock it down. And then once we get farther down, I'm going to go over at the end. I'll go over all the picks so you guys can see like I'm laboring now. That way, at the end, if you missed anything, you can kind of get a sense of who we did early in the draft.
Touche.
The next one here. Okay, I'll move the one down that I had because the other one's kind of questionable because she just gave up the title. But first one that we got here is the women's champion on SmackDown. We got Bayley, just won the title at WrestleMania against Io Sky. She finally got her moment at Mania with the crowd in a one-on-one match. The last 4 Horsemen women to get that spot there, but we got Bayley.
All right, I'll start it with Bayley. I think that with the Raw Women's Championship being up for grabs, I think that it will stay on Raw. They'll have the women of Raw do something for that. Is that next week that they're doing that? That they're
yes, it is.
All yes, right, it so is. I think that whoever wins that will stay on Raw, and then Miss Bayley will be a SmackDown Women's Champion.
Interesting. Hold on.
What you thinking, pal?
Okay.
You gonna switch it up
I just
on
had to move some. No, I had to move something up, but then we got D saying Bayley staying on SmackDown. I'm going with Raw. I think she moves to Raw. And I think something that I just saw on Monday may be a tip of the cap for it. Because if the next person, which is, of course, Rhea Ripley, had she have held the title and not got hurt, I thought maybe this would have changed things. But technically now, you can have Bayley bring the title over because we're not going to have the draft and keep all these people on the same show that they had before.
Yeah.
You got to change things up a little bit, even if you expect them to keep the title. And they've kind of made the titles to the point where they don't have to change the title look because they got rid of the blue and red team titles now, which makes things a lot easier with this. So I think she goes to Raw, and I think you got to change things up. She moves over. We don't know exactly who's going to win the title on Monday. So whoever wins the title could win it, and then they move her over to Raw since Ripley is technically injured. So, and that's a way that they could keep Ripley technically on Raw without having to worry about having 2 titles on the same show.
Okay. Switching it up. I like it.
Yeah, I just have a good feeling here with what they're going to do there. But 1 second.
I'm trying to get some graphics loaded up for when we bring people up.
So we got a little bit of difference there. Put it there. I said Raw. You said SmackDown. Next one, like I said before, we got Rhea Ripley. We got Mommy. Ripley. We got Mommy. We got the real leader of Judgment Day. Or if you want to say leader A to leader 1A to the 1B of Damian Priest. I feel like they both had that claim that they could both be a leader of the Judgment Day with how they are both champions in their own right. But I'll start this one off. If we have Priest staying on Raw and the rest of the group, I have all in one. I got Balor, I got Dom, and I got JD all in one package. Like the Raw, like WWE likes to do. They like to keep the groups the same, but I had to split the champions differently because of it. But with Ripley, she was the champion. She just got hurt. She's going to be out for 2 to 3 months. So she won't be back until mid to late July, possibly August, around SummerSlam time. So she relinquished the belt. But with Priest staying on Raw, I got her staying on Raw as well. I think you keep the whole group intact on the same brand.
Yeah, I like that too. I think Rhea is a big time player, big time team, big time play, big time players. Yes, brother.
Yeah.
I'm going Rhea Bloody Ripley staying on Monday Night Raw with her fellow champion, not fellow champion because she had to give up the title, but staying with Priest and the gang and going on Monday Night Raw.
He says, I think they will keep her on Raw because of the live thing. We will see because that's the next person on my docket right here is Liv Morgan.
Liv Bloody Morgan.
Hell yeah, the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. I'll let you start this one out.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be fairly fast as far as we think that Bloody Liv Morgan and Bloody Rhea Ripley have a little issue going. Then I don't think they're going to split that up. I think that's something that could benefit multiple sides. Like that side right there is pretty fantastic. But I think building Liv up as a credible heel, not taking people out with punches and arm bars, but more being devious, being sneaky. I think she'll end up having a lot of people cheer her because of her look and her being a little rebel. But yeah, I have her staying on Monday Night Raw.
Sweet.
What are you thinking?
Before we get to mine, I see we got a bunch of people that are hanging out watching on Twitter. I am going to be posting the link in the comments section. If you want to come watch, if you want to come watch us, just click the link on the video that you saw. Yeah, and we're on YouTube. We want you to be able to talk to us, interact with us, since I've only been limited to watching on X, since X likes to sometimes not allow your comments to be seen. So come on over to the YouTube channel, WrestlingBrosPod without the E. If you can see this on Twitter, just go to our page on Twitter, go to the top to the pin post, and there's a link to the YouTube channel right there. So definitely make the switch over to YouTube and join us in the chat.
We would be appreciative.
Yep. But
so what you thinking?
Where did you say again?
I said that I believe she will go to Monday Night Raw because of the feud she's got going.
I think that's why she's going to SmackDown.
To get away?
I think it depends. If she wins the title, I definitely think that she's going to go to SmackDown. If we have Bayley going to Raw, we got my guy Matt chiming in. He said, nice pick. I'm going to be on Smacking It Raw this Saturday. So definitely check them out. The #1 podcast on Pornhub. Definitely don't miss out on that episode. But yeah, so I got Liv on SmackDown right now. I think it would have been easier had Ripley not gotten hurt. And now you say, why are you going to do this if you had this rivalry? We've seen this happen before. Come on. Just because she's drafted to SmackDown doesn't mean she's not going to go to Raw. Because that's how this draft is. You can ask Matt. Ask Matt right now. The brand split isn't really a brand split. It's just that's their home base. If the storyline requires it, you're going to go to both shows. And I see that happening eventually with her and Ripley, but I think she wins the title and then takes it over to SmackDown because Bayley's going to be on Raw. Like I said before, having too many of the same people from show to show just doesn't make sense. You want to mix things up. Just like you said, there's no brand split, so draft is pointless. I agree. I think to a point, they will keep certain people on shows, but with storylines, they're going to play hot potato. So I'm just making do with what they have and what they give us with having a draft.
I like it. Plus, you are making sure you're not just being bland. I'm kind of being a little bit more bland because I might be, what's it called when you're used to them shitting the bed on stuff?
Yeah, exactly. But it's a 50-50 shoot. So I just did that. I got SmackDown. You got Raw. And other than that, I really hope that they mix things up very good. I think that she could really make a name for herself on SmackDown, especially with the chance that there's so many other women now. We got a couple of people getting called up. I want to see new rivalries. We can finish this one. We can have this where Liv and Ripley face each other at SummerSlam, and then somehow Liv Morgan retains or something, like a crazy way, and then she stays on there and then moves on. You got to find a way to, because she's been on Raw Ripley's been on Raw for like a year or two. She was on SmackDown, moved to Raw. One of them's going to eventually move from brand to brand. Let's move on to the next one. We're on to the mid-card champions. We got the Intercontinental Champion. We got Sami Zayn, the guy that just got laid out. The guy that just got laid out after retaining against Chad Gable and forced Chad Gable to get pissed off and turn heel against him. I'll start with this one out. I'm going to say that oh, geez. See, this is
not that easy, huh?
I'm going to say he moves to SmackDown.
I kind of have that feeling a little bit too.
Because it's like, I could see other people getting moved but then it all depends on where Logan Paul goes. They're going to have both guys be on separate shows, but it's like, I feel like, I don't know. Because if he goes to SmackDown, then we're going to go Logan to Raw. But then, I think really we probably should have thought about doing Logan Paul first, because he's going to be the big pawn in these two titles, because they're going to want to know, okay, what show has the most views? Where can we get away? You know what? I'm going to go SmackDown. With the Raw moving to Netflix, they can get away.
Into something.
Yeah, I'm going to move him. He says, does the IC title fit better with the Raw title scheme or the SmackDown? I actually kind of think it fits better with SmackDown, with the title that Cody has, because the U.S. title is more brighter, and you look at the Raw one right now, and it's kind of more darker, than has a lot of gold on it, whereas there's white, there's black on SmackDown. So I'm going to go with Sami Zayn to SmackDown. And then in that sense, I'm going to have Logan Paul go. So we'll kind of package them together, because we know if we're going to go one spot, the other is going to go the other. And I have Logan Paul go to Raw, because he's going to get the views. He's going to get the casuals to come over to sign up for Netflix to come watch on the platform, where they're going to be able to do a lot more and try new things on. And he's going to be the reason to get people to sign up for Netflix if they haven't already.
Yeah, you just took my reasoning, you shithead. I think
you're welcome.
How we were talking about the Cody going to Raw for Netflix, that was the issue. We were thinking like, is it this, is it that? I think Paul is a definite on that. I think that with him with all that going down, we'll talk more about that in a second. I see Sami Zayn going to SmackDown because of the Paul situation. Plus, SmackDown, I wouldn't say it. I guess it's. Would you say it's the more wrestling oriented show?
Yeah, it's the more wrestling because they're 2 hours. They're kind of condensed. They still do quite a few promos, but now that just a tidbit, Roman Reigns isn't going to be part of this draft. They had said that he is taking an indefinite hiatus right now. He's actually going to film a movie. He was just, I forget the name of the movie. He was casted in a movie, so he's going to be gone for a while.
Scorpion King Part 3.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was. I forget the name of the movie though, but so he's going to be gone for a while. So I kind of took him out of it because with how they are, they want to make sure that he's kind of like a free agent where he can fly to whatever show that they want. So it's going to add more time and more freedom to SmackDown. I feel like you're not going to have these 30, 40-minute promos from just like a guy like Roman now. You're going to be able to fit a little bit more matches on SmackDown, whereas on Raw, they kind of utilize a lot of promos on Raw, and then they kind of take advantage of the extra hour because then they can do like half promos and half matches, whereas SmackDown, you're going to get maybe 2 promos and like 4 or 5 matches.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. When is the Netflix deal? Is it in January?
It starts in January. So the deal with the USA ends, I think, on October 1st. And then the Netflix deal starts, I think, on January 1st. So like I said, there's like a 3-month gap that we don't even know what they're going to do with Raw yet. We don't know if it's going to be, say, on a different platform. We don't know if it's going to be on a streaming of the service part of USA Network. We don't know.
Yeah.
They were having announced.
You think Netflix might add a column? You know how HBO has, like, you can watch NBA games live and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
It could, but they could put it on. What is USA on? Is that on Peacock or is that Paramount Plus?
Yeah, I think it's on Peacock.
You see, I wouldn't be surprised if just for a couple months they put Raw on Peacock, since all their content's on there anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. And you just go to the live thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. He said, Logan Paul definitely going to Raw. Yeah, I like that time of things for that one. I think that fits right there. Okay, and then like we have on there, we'd already have Logan Paul set to SmackDown. I'm set to Raw since he's set to SmackDown. He's going to get a lot more viewership there. As you see there, you got Maverick right there. He's been doing a great job as champion. He gets the casuals involved from the streaming services. It was able to, like, I just found out that it took a little bit for him to get them to put on speed onto their the streamer because of how like a lot of people watch his content. And he's all about trying to get the casuals to tune into wrestling, and that's going to be a huge thing with them trying to get live viewers on Netflix. So it's like you put 2 and 2 together. It's like you got a streamer, you got a streaming service. This guy's going to be able to gather everybody to subscribe.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. I think that if there's anybody on the roster that has access to people that aren't wrestling fans that might possibly be subscribed to Netflix or on the verge of becoming a wrestling fan, to say, I've watched some stuff where there's been a good influx of wrestling fans that's gone from like not ever watching wrestling to enjoying wrestling now all of a sudden. So I don't know if it's all Logan Paul or a part of Logan Paul, but yeah, I think he's going to take that to Netflix and try to get some new subscribers over there for the new Raw on Netflix.
Matt saying we got NXT guys on this list like Dragunov. Did I miss it? No, you did not. We've only done the champions right now on like so far on the main roster. I do have 4 NXT men on here that are able to be drafted, and then I got I think 1 or 2 females, and then I also have a couple people that I expect to be drafted to NXT since they did say that NXT is going to be able to take some people as well. We got TW Takes Podcast. You missed the Raw after Mania when he announced for the draft. Who?
Get him, Cage Rage. Cage don't miss nothing.
He said third list, not WWE's. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing a predictions for this. So going to the next one, we got the Raw Tag Team Champions. They got the shiny new belts, which I liked. I liked a big improvement over the color belts. We got Awesome Truth.
Yeah,
I'll let you start this one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've seen a lot of hate on the new belts, and I don't really understand it, man. You can never please people. They want to try to caca on everything, man. I think it's a pretty sweet belt, I guess. It's more the round shape. They don't have the fruit roll-up belt no more. They don't have the blue belt no more. It's more of an actual wrestling belt. And on SmackDown, I think they're going to do where they're going to have the big WWE logo in the middle. And then this one, it's the tag team's going to mirror the World Heavyweight titles. So, but yeah, no, I think Awesome Truth are going to do what a tag team needs to do is build up a division, try to create new teams, create new interesting concepts and matchups, let Truth do his thing. And I think they'll hold the belt for a little bit. I think that we are going to see them on. Let me think. I kind of have a feeling that I think a part. See,
Can I get mine?
I'm being boring with it. Like my mind's going that they're going to stay on Raw because of Truth, but
that's what I think. I think they're going to stay on Raw. I think you got the champions. You kind of mentioned it. The titles are mirrored off of the Raw title that Damian Priest has. The look, the feel. You got these 2 guys, must-see TV with The Miz. You got R-Truth, who is a comedic effect type guy with the jokes, how he's down to earth. Everybody likes him. And you got a lot more time on Raw for guys like this to shine, whereas they're more of entertainers, whereas SmackDown's going to be more wrestling based. So I think they're going to be on Raw. I don't expect them to hold the belts too long. So for right now, just because they're champions, I think they stay on the red brand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense, especially with the theme that we got going with SmackDown being more of the wrestling, the more of the technical wrestling side, to where Raw's more the entertainment side. So, I'm happy with that.
You got Awesome Truth staying on Raw, he said. And then before we move on, just to let everybody know, we are doing our draft predictions for next Friday / Monday's WWE Draft that they're going to be holding. It starts next Friday on SmackDown, and then they conclude it the following Monday on Raw. And NXT is involved in this, so there's going to be a few wrestlers going from NXT to Raw or SmackDown, or a guy from Raw and SmackDown that can move to NXT, because apparently, from what I hear, they're trying to treat it as the third brand again. They're moving back towards that route, which is great.
Yeah.
Because I like the fact that they're utilizing that talent, because they can help the NXT talent, and then they can get some notoriety, get moved down if they weren't getting used as much on the red and blue brand.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Yep. Okay. Next one, we got the SmackDown. We got A-Town Down Under. They won the belts in the ladder match at WrestleMania, just like the Awesome Truth did. I actually love this pairing. They've been kind of gold, like a hidden gem for the SmackDown division. You got Austin Theory, who has the big build. He has been improving on the mic, but his biggest strength is his move set, his movement, power set. Whereas you got Grayson Waller, who is a master on the mic. He's going to be the guy to get people tuned in to the Grayson Waller effect on social media and everything. Even though he would fit great on Raw, I think that they stay on SmackDown with those belts.
Nice. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Think that they're staying. I think they're a good fit. I think that we've always kind of know that Austin Theory is kind of the prototypical wrestler, dude. Like he is John
like
Cena
prototype
when he was younger, but actually better. But they're not going to push him as better. But he's a better wrestler. He's not as good on the mic and maybe not as good charisma, but he's an excellent young wrestler. And then Grayson Waller, I think, is the diamond in the rough. I don't like his wrestling gear, but I think he's a good wrestler. I like his move. I like his entrance music. It hits. And I think that they are good on SmackDown.
It's controversial with everything that he does on social media. Like he tries to poke the bear. And then he said, I'll be so mad if they made all the belts matchy, then move some of them to different shows. That's why, like, some of it that I'm like, okay, that's why I think that is. And then that their plan is to keep certain belts that match together on the same show. You got D saying Vince treated the NXT guys like crap. Waller and Theory staying on SmackDown. He's one of the best. Like, I think he might be, like, if there's other than a few, he might be one of the best on the mic. Like, he's a guy that you can tell, hey, just hit these board points. That's it. Other than that, do your work. And he's going to do it.
Hot take. Is this crazy to say that Waller might be a top 5 on the mic?
No, I think he is. Right now. I think he is. Not all time, just right now.
Yeah, I think right now he's a top 5 guy that you can put out and do a promo in the ring and not be worried about him messing up.
And I think with how they were booking Theory, this is going to allow Theory to gain a little bit of steam again. Because, like he beat Cena and then he got lost when he went to SmackDown for the longest time. Then they paired him with Waller and it seemed to kind of like rejuvenated kind of his career for some sense. Then they put the belts on them and now they're treating it as like, we can be part-time now. Like, that type of gimmick. Yeah. And they're going to come back. I wouldn't be surprised if they held the belts for a while. I wouldn't be surprised because they want to do something with them. And then the way that you can take the belts off of them is they lose them by not working great together. And then you can get a rivalry out of it. You can eventually
that's going to happen.
You can eventually turn Theory babyface and then keep Waller as a heel. And then that could be something. I'm not going to say that you wait until WrestleMania to do that, but definitely something close to that range where you book towards that, because you want to try and build up Theory to be the next guy because he has the tools there. He has to work his way to it. He has to get the fans to want to root for him instead of against him.
Yeah, and if you remember, it was Waller that let Theory get jumped. It wasn't Theory that let
Waller.
Exactly. I thought it was going to happen. Before we dive into the next one, we got 26 live over all platforms watching us. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. If you slide over and join us on YouTube, that'd be appreciative. I know you probably won't, brother, but I would have really appreciated it if you did. All right, go ahead, Cage.
Hell yeah. And then you got this. We're going to play this for a second just because we can.
Here we go.
Yeah,
you
my
guys
mini
a few
me do
seconds.
love Swerve.
Hell yeah. We're probably gonna we might do a video before Sunday. I might put one out with the predictions for Dynasty where we expect him to win the title. Might do
Yeah.
it, might not. We'll see how the rest of the week goes, but got to get that clip in there. With how we do things, we're just randomly play clips just to get people to pop.
That's how we do it, man. We just play shit.
And he said, D says, I hope Swerve beats Joe Sunday. Definitely do. Let's get back to this. We have A-Town Down Under staying on SmackDown. Here's a good one. Here is a good one.
Ooh.
CM Punk.
I'll let you start this one there, Electric Boy.
Oh, geez. You see. Great on the mic. That's it. That's what he's known for. He's been kind of rusty in the ring, of course. He did one live event that did the Royal Rumble, got injured. He won't be back until closer to SummerSlam. So wherever he gets drafted, if he gets drafted, if they try and pull that he's injured, he won't be drafted, then that solves the problem in itself. But I'm just going to go on the chance that he gets drafted here. And first, we got him saying Punk is staying on Raw because of Drew. Got to wait on that. The big thing here is, do you keep it on Raw because of the mic skills, how he can be kind of one of those guys that knows how to draw the line with being on PG. If you put him on Raw on Netflix, you can get away with a lot with him. Or do you want to put him on the top brand, put him on the same show as Cody, potentially using that as like a potential rivalry in the future? Or do you want to keep, like I said, keep it on Raw and then see where it goes because of that Netflix deal? Like I said, I'm going to say this a million times. I think the Netflix deal is going to kind of shape where certain guys get posted here during the draft. You see, I'm going to go right now SmackDown.
You have reasoning?
It's tough. It's tough, but I think you can put two heavy like view guys and Cody and Punk on the same show, with the potential of The Rock being there too. We know the Netflix deal is gonna be there, but it's like I want to see change. I want to see a guy go and help them out when they're on USA. Since SmackDown's moved to USA Network from Fox, I think they need to keep some star brand on this show, especially with, like you don't want to put all the guys on Raw. You want to make sure that some big names are on here. And I think the potential to have these guys do a match at, say, Royal Rumble would be big.
Yeah, I was leaning SmackDown too. But what D said does make sense. Is you kind of got to factor the Drew stuff in there, even though that can spread out for a long period of time and they can do something to finagle it to where they match up. But I do think Raw should be more star powered because of Netflix. But I'm leaning SmackDown too, just because I could see Punk. I could see Punk wanting to be with Cody. And with it being a 2-hour show, Raw being a 3-hour show, them getting like, okay, we're jumping the gun a little bit, but Cody, Punk, Drew, get them over on SmackDown, a couple more big names, get the more majority names on Raw, but I do think that Punk is going to go to SmackDown.
Nice.
Also, I don't think that Punk is the best. No, Cody's the best on the mic. I don't think he is. I know some people do, but I don't. And I think Punk is excellent on the mic, so I think that will help. The little bit of downfall that people see Cody have, I think Punk brings it in spades. Even if his wrestling's a little bit lacking, Cody has that down to a science. So, yeah, and I think that they can end up telling a really good story, like the best story maybe in WWE history. We just seen the whole bloodline stuff, but imagine a good 6-month run with Punk and Cody, son. That would be fire.
Yep. I agree there. So we both have him on SmackDown.
Yep.
Here's one. Here's the next one right here. Whose game is it? You know it. Yeah. LA Knight.
Okay, I'll start this one. I think that LA Knight is a future champion. I could see. I'm not a personal fan of his wrestling in ring ability, but to be honest, there's been several wrestlers along the years that their in ring ability is not my favorite, but everything they do as a package, they are just kind of built for the WWE. And I think LA Knight is one of them. I think that he has the fans on his side. He has the couple little catchphrases. I think that he's just a cool cat. I don't really like his finisher, but I could see with we thinking Priest is going to be on Raw, I could see LA Knight being one of the first people to maybe LA Knight's the person that takes the belt off of Priest whenever Priest gets done having the belt. But yeah, I'm gonna go LA Knight on Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you.
Whose game is it on Raw?
LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I got LA Knight to Raw. I think you got a point there. He doesn't have the best move set. He's not the best worker, but he has a basic move set that allows him to stay healthy. He's great on the mic. He's up there with Grayson Waller. I think the overall package is there. I think that's what it is. Basic move set, great on the mic. He's there all the time. The crowd loves him. I think the top two pops in WWE right now are Cody Rhodes and LA Knight. I think Jey Uso's there too, but as like a third. But I think you're going to have LA Knight on the opposite brand of Cody. And like you said, he's main event scene now. He's going to challenge. And with Cody possibly holding the belt for like a long time, I think at least a year, possibly, the better chances for this guy of getting title shots and possibly taking the belt from somebody is on Raw against a guy like Priest. So I got LA Knight on Raw.
I like it. In realistic terms, I don't see Cody losing the belt for a while. So anybody you see on SmackDown, like a Punk doesn't need to be champion. You know what I mean? Punk is Punk with or without the belt. Punk is Punk. But you take somebody like LA Knight and Damian Priest, and you get that group of people that can build themselves up. I think that it'll be a nice squad.
Yes, sir. Let's move on to the next guy. We just talked about him. Yeah. We got Drew McIntyre.
Big Daddy
Drew. I'll start this one out. You see, there's a lot of guys that are staying on the same show. We don't know where his status is from a contract standpoint. We don't know like where he wants to be. He's been on Raw. Raw's 3 hours. I feel like we got to be able to factor in whole CM Punk situation. You got rivalry there, but then also the fact that you're gonna see guys going different brands. And I feel like the only reason I put him on SmackDown would be to CM Punk. So just like the whole Rhea Liv thing, they could be on separate shows, but then still do the whole storyline. I think Raw is the best place for him. he's going to be able to face new guys. I want to be able to see Drew versus LA Knight. I want to be able to see Drew versus Damian Priest for the title. I want to see a lot of that. And I want to see a big name like him stay on the red brand if you're going to have Punk and Cody on SmackDown. So I'm going to go with Raw.
All right. I'm gonna be contrarian here, and I do feel this. I think Drew is one of the few people that, in time, people would be okay with beating Cody. I think Drew's somebody that people kind of want to get her behind. He's kind of becoming a good heel, and I think that him on SmackDown, like I said, being one of the few big names over there, since it's a not as long show. And another reason, I kind of think that if you have Drew on the same brand as Priest, that is kind of a no-brainer that Drew's going to beat Priest. So I think that you need to split Drew and Priest up, since Priest screwed Drew, because there's no world that Drew would be able to be on the show in real life and be okay with Priest screwing him without him trying to always interfere. And I don't see Priest's next person to challenge for the belt being Drew, because I don't think that they're going to take the belt off Priest right now. So with that, I'm going to go Drew on SmackDown.
I do think that you can keep them on the same show, because I feel like the whole big thing is him and Punk, but that's the only reason I'd move him over is that. But we've said a million times, the draft doesn't mean you're stuck on that show. Like, you're still going to flop over both shows. It's just your home brand. That's like, boom, you're going to spend the majority of your time there. And I do think that he
Drew
can.
used to be on SmackDown, because when I look at Drew,
No,
I think SmackDown guy. I don't know why.
he was before last draft. He was on SmackDown. You had him, Sheamus, and Gunther. And then Drew and Gunther got drafted from SmackDown to Raw. And then Sheamus stayed on SmackDown. And now, technically, Sheamus just came back and went back to Raw for no reason a week before the draft. So I think that instead of like moving him back over and craziness, you just keep him on Raw. That's where he's been doing the best. You can technically still do him versus Punk, and then I think they're going to save that match with him and Priest. I think that you're going to get Priest versus McIntyre. You're just not going to randomly waste that rivalry. The fact that he cashed in on him, and then he almost had the title shot, and then CM Punk costed him that. I think the end game's going to be, you're going to get Punk Drew. Once Drew deals with Punk, then he's going to finally be able to focus on Damian Priest and that title.
Okay. I like your explanation.
So, yeah, so I'm sticking with Raw. And then you said SmackDown, right?
Yep.
Okay. Steve, post this right here so everybody can see. I went Raw. You went SmackDown. Like I said, we're going to go down at the end and show all of our picks. Next one is the rest of the Judgment Day. I think this is plain and simple. We got Ripley and we got Priest on Raw. I think the other three, just join them. They try and keep groups together. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just had Judgment Day, all five of them, and then they have them drafted to Raw instead of doing separate.
Yeah, I think that Priest and Rhea will be separate, but I think there's a chance that the rest of them could be a package.
Yeah.
Just because Rhea's Rhea and Priest is the champion, they're going to go early. I don't think Judgment Day is going to go super early, but I think Dom, JD, and who's the other one? Or is it just them two?
John, JD, and Finn.
Yeah, Finn. Finn might get... Well, hold on. Is this where they split him up? Is this where they split Finn away?
That'd be interesting because they've been kind of teasing things, but do you think it'd be too soon of a tease here with like Priest not liking what
Well, let's
Finn and
think
them are
about
doing?
this. Like, think about it as a GM.
Yeah.
Like, I know that it's pre-planned, so, but let's think how the bookers think, right? If they think if this is real, and let's say you're Adam Pearce and I'm who's the other one? Nick
You
Aldis.
got Nick Aldis.
So let's say you take Priest, right? And then because Finn's a beast, dog. Like Finn's a world champion. Like he's a former world champion. And you could get Finn to piss off Adam Pearce they got you take him. I'm gonna take Finn. I'm not gonna let you get the Judgment Day. So I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go Finn is the one that gets separated and I'm gonna go Finn to SmackDown, the other two to Raw.
I thought about this, and then I had a reason why I had them all going and drafted because I thought eventually Finn would split off, and I think JD and Dom would go with him, and then somehow they would orchestrate a trade to SmackDown afterwards. Because it would just be weird to have them drafted over when you're trying to showcase the breakup eventually, and then I do see them going to SmackDown. I just don't know how that's going to work out. And then I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised if they send the NXT. For I know. Yeah. I don't think that they'd be ballsy enough to do that, even though Finn Balor did really well when he got sent down there and he became NXT champion and had a great run with that before he went to the Judgment Day. And then, of course, Dom was the North American champion, and JD did well down there before joining
Dom Mysterio.
the
also,
future
real quick before we get off Judgment Day and we don't have the deep dive too far on this, just maybe 30 seconds. What did you think about my Liv trying to get into Judgment Day while Rhea's gone? I'll say this because Rhea made it a big deal that she was going to be gone for a long time. And then if you notice, whenever she left, she said, "Take care of my dom-dom." So I could see Liv playing some mind games, trying to flirt with dom-dom and find her way in the Judgment Day for a win.
Imagine if they did that, and then Q. What female star was working with AJ and Finn before Finn made the move to Judgment Day?
Who?
It was Liv. You remember remember it was Edge. It was Edge, Priest, and Rhea on one side. Then it was AJ, Finn, and Liv on the other side.
Yeah.
Before Finn betrayed that side and went to the Judgment Day when they kicked out Edge.
Yeah, and Liv kind of has a little bit of a Judgment Day vibe, a little bit.
And with you trying to have Rhea Ripley as sort of like that Austin-style babyface, where even though she has that bad side, she's still getting the cheers and the babyface treatment.
Blazing hot, son.
Yes. And then this is how you could turn Liv into like a heel just for the storyline, you know, doing stuff like this. And then she could be part of the reason why Finn betrays Priest.
Yeah, we can continue. I just thought about it. Let's go.
So right now I got Raw, you got SmackDown, but I might be leaning towards SmackDown right now.
Nice.
I might be. I'm gonna keep it like this for now, but I'm leaning towards switching them to SmackDown. I'm like, you've kind of between that and then the whole Liv thing, because I do have Liv going to SmackDown with them. That would make for some really good storylines right there.
Yeah, nice. Let's go.
Okay, next one we got. I'm going to actually move him up first before I do this group. We got the former World Heavyweight Champion. We got Seth freaking Rollins. who is hurt right now. He should be back right after the draft in May. This is the tough one. Very
It is.
tough.
I'll let you go first because I don't really. Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
I don't have a graphic for this, so he'll just have to just do. I think that I'm gonna go Seth stays on Raw, and reason being, I don't see him moving both Cody and Seth to SmackDown. It's either going to be. It's
I'm
either
gonna
going
cut
to
a
be.
promo on you now for being.
What's up, Christoph? I think it's either going to be Cody and Drew or Cody and Seth. I think it's going to be like Cody, Punk, and Drew, or Cody, Punk, and Seth, and those be the big names. So, but I'm gonna go with it being Drew right now. I'm gonna go Seth stays on Raw.
Yeah, this is tough because, like you said, either way, and then don't forget CM Punk too. CM Punk's on the same show as Cody that we have, so you'd really stack it in SmackDown's favor if he was on SmackDown. So I think, but he seems to always been on Raw. If there's ever a time to move him to SmackDown, though, this would be the time to move him.
He does look like a SmackDown superstar, doesn't he?
Like, could you imagine, like, even though we said like stacking shows,
I take it back. He's going to SmackDown. If we're going to stick with the theme of SmackDown being the wrestling type show, then that's what we got to go with, right?
Yeah. It's just, this is really tough though, because it's like then you really have to like package Raw up, because we do have like, was it Drew? We got LA Knight, we got Priest on this show, but it's like he can really. This is tough because the next pick is going to make it even tougher. What I'm thinking, because I don't want to just move Raw guys to SmackDown and SmackDown guys to Raw. I want to keep some of them in place because it's going to eventually happen. I just like, as much as I want to move them to SmackDown, he could still work Cody. He could. Part of me wants to keep him on Raw because I do eventually think right now my thought process is right now, spoiler, I feel like the Bloodline's going to move to Raw. I think they're going to move to Raw because Cody's kind of taking Cody is kind of taking the place of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And then you don't know when Roman's coming back. And then Roman can come back. You put him on a show like Raw, the Tribal Chief there. You could probably have the new Bloodline there too. And then you put Seth there, and you could get that matchup between Roman and Seth at some point. And you got new matchups. I would love to see a Seth versus LA Knight. I want to see Seth go up against Logan Paul again. Even though, like, we've already seen him versus Logan Paul. We know there's that storyline with him and Punk. Eventually, that could happen. But it's like, do we want to stack the deck? You know what? I'm going SmackDown. I've committed with you. I've just done it. Like, I don't care. I committed him to SmackDown. I don't know. I see the new Bloodline staying on SmackDown. We'll see. Like, I'm going to take the plunge.
Hey, as you take this one, I'm going to go roll a blunt real quick.
Sounds good. So we got that. So while he's doing that for a second, let me go over what we have so far. And we're doing the 2024 WWE Draft predictions. Right now, we got Cody Rhodes going to SmackDown. We got Damian Priest staying on WWE Raw. Bailey, I got her going to Raw. Mo has her staying on SmackDown. Ripley, we have staying on Raw with Priest. In a change-up, I got Liv Morgan going to SmackDown. Mo has her staying on Raw. Sami Zayn, I have her staying on. I have him moving it to SmackDown. with Logan Paul with the Netflix deal. I got him moving to Raw because he's of course, content creator, and he streams, especially with the YouTube channel, and that's going to get the casuals to subscribe to Netflix to watch Raw. That'd be a big thing with him going there. Got the tag champs on Raw, staying put with the Awesome Truth. It just fits with the 3 hours, and they're more entertainers than they are the wrestling side of things. We got A-Town Down Under staying on SmackDown. I think it fits great with Theory being a wrestler. Waller is a wrestler, but he is great on the mic, and you want to keep both tag belts separate. We got CM Punk, the Second City Saint there. We got him moving to SmackDown in a shocker. He fits Raw with the uncensored on Netflix, but you know what? We got him moving to SmackDown. We got a big name going to the show with Cody as a potential future rival or somebody that can work with them. We got LA Knight moving to Raw. I think that's a huge move. You need to move him from SmackDown to Raw to get fresh new matchups, to be booked as a main event player to challenge Priest and the next guy, Drew McIntyre. I got him staying on Raw. Mo has him going to SmackDown. Either show is going to get a great heel in Drew McIntyre, who's been firing on all cylinders since he turned heel 3-4 months ago. Then you got Judgment Day. I got them going to Raw. Mo has a shocker and moving them to SmackDown. This is just Finn, JD, and Dom, because we do think that they're going to break up soon. They've been teasing it with Finn playing heel right now. And you see this babyface side of Priest lately where he didn't want to attack Jay, but the rest of the group did. I think he's going to get pissed off of that, and these guys are going to split from the two leaders in Rhea and Priest, and with help from Liv, like we talked about. So, but I'm leaning towards SmackDown with Mo. And then lastly, we got Seth Rollins making the plunge to SmackDown. That'd be a big get for the Blue Brand. He's been on Raw for the last 2-3 years, and I think it's time for a change from 3 hours to 2 hours with a guy like this. You can add some spice to Friday night. Let's move on to the second half of the draft. We're getting going really well. We're an hour in, but we've gotten a lot of picks done. If you're one of the 30 people chimed in right now on social media, definitely if you're tuning in on Twitter/X, definitely make the plunge to YouTube so that you can join us in the comment section. We want to get all your guys' feedback in the comments on the draft. If you're going to tune in when this is already posted, hit us up in the comment section. Let you know what you think of our predictions and give some of your takes on this draft. But the first team in the second half we got perfect timing is Imperium. We're doing this as a group.
Too, just so
yeah, we got Imperium, we got Gunther, we got Giovanni Vinci, and then we got Ludwig Kaiser, the trio right here. The first time in over 680 plus days that no one in the group has a title, since, of course, Gunther had it for 666 days before he was finally defeated for the first time on the main roster by pin against Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. I think that with this one, this is tough because you could make the move back to SmackDown since they were on Raw this year. Last year, they were on SmackDown where they debuted. You could make the case that they make the move, but I think he stays on Raw, this group. I think there's 3 hours. You got a group here. I think he could be a guy that could challenge Cody in the future, but you can kind of wait a year. Like, there's so much going on with Cody. You got the potential matchup with The Rock. You still got everything with the bloodline going on. You got him wrestling a guy like AJ, possibly, or Knight at Backlash. Like, I think it's a nice thing to keep him and Cody apart for just a little bit longer, because you don't want to waste a guy like Gunther to face Cody in the main event scene on a random pay-per-view. You want him at a big premium event. So I'm like, my thought process is you keep him on Raw. There's guys like, he fought Drew already, but there's guys like LA Knight, there's guys like Damian Priest. Well, there is that thing where Priest was looking at the IC title before he won it, and Priest doesn't like Gunther. I think you can do a Gunther versus a babyface Priest, and maybe that's the guy who takes the title from him.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I think we're going to have Imperium. We're going to have Gunther on Raw. I think he is one of the guys that can take it off of Priest. My only thing with that, I think once Gunther gets it, I don't think he's going to be breaking our records, but I think he's going to be a long-reigning champion. So whichever brand he goes to is going to have to be okay with him being the man for a little while. But yeah, no, we're going Imperium Raw. Lock it in.
Yeah, because I feel like wherever Cody is, Cody's going to be the champion. He's going to be champion for a year. He's going to feud with The Rock. You got guys that we've already stacked CM Punk and Seth on SmackDown on that side. And then you can just push it on over. He can be that top heel on Raw and feud with guys. And you got to have like a heel champion at some point. If Priest is going to drop it, I think you can drop it, the title, to Drew or Gunther. But you've created with having top tiered on SmackDown with the list on Raw. We've already done Priest, we've done Drew, we've done LA Knight, and now Gunther. I'd be down to see Gunther versus an LA Knight at, say, Survivor Series or SummerSlam or something like that. That's a hot matchup there, with a guy that gets booed in Gunther and a guy that gets cheered that's not Cody in LA Knight.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with Cody, there's tons of matchups that can be made, but they don't all have to go through Cody. And I think this is one maybe later on in time, it could be big, but I think that Gunther's going to do good on Raw.
Yeah, and then with the Ludwig Kaiser and with the Giovanni Vinci, I think eventually they're going to break out of slump and they're going to be title contenders. And with Awesome Truth as the champions, you want to put them on the top mix there. And I think that's the first challengers right there for just on the brand for the Awesome Truth. We got more tag teams to break into. This is only technically the third tag team that we're going to talk about, but I think, of course, they stay with the boss man to Raw and they ride his winning ways on the red brand. Moving on to the next person, we've got the wife of Seth Rollins. We got the man, Becky Lynch. I think this is pretty easy with him moving to SmackDown. She's been on Raw with him the last couple of years since the last time she was on SmackDown. I think it's only right to have her move back to the blue brand. We've already got Liv going over there. We do need another woman over there too. I do like they've kind of teased the discontent between the two of them in the past. Liv doesn't like Becky. Becky doesn't like Liv. That could be a future matchup on the blue brand, just like it was, well, like a tiny bit before WrestleMania on Raw. So I got Becky going to Raw. I mean, going to SmackDown.
Son, I was about to say, did you just say all that and then go, I got Becky going to Raw? No, yeah, I'm right there with you. I think we're going
it just
to
makes sense.
Becky Lynch SmackDown makes sense.
Yeah, especially since Seth is going there. They try to keep couples together on the same brand 90% of the time. And I think change is needed for her. She's been, like I said, she started out her great runs on SmackDown, went to Raw, kind of continued it a little bit, lost a little bit of time when she was pregnant. She's technically been on, I think, Raw for 3 years. So around this time, this is where they try and switch things up and switch shows. So that's what I'm going with right there.
Nice. I like it.
Let's move on to the next one.
Real quick. We got Miss Cindy in TikTok chat. She says, I got some ideas for the Bloodline and Cody as well. Cindy's coming in. I appreciate you. Also, Miss Cindy, if you want to slide over to YouTube, like I said, you can click the little YouTube button on the profile. You come join the chat. We'll bring your comments up on screen. You can subscribe over there. We go live every Thursday. For anybody watching on any platform live right now, we got 31 right here. I don't know how many we got right here. Let me see how many we got right here. We got about 20 right here. So if you
thanks for tuning in, peeps.
Yeah, come over here, subscribe. We go live every Thursday around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Depends on if we got to restart a stream or not, Hunk Age. So
and that's Central Time for him. I'm on Eastern Time, but like he wants to stay Central Time. He wants to stay in the past. So I'm in the Central. I'm just the cool guy here because whose game is it? It's Dash and Cage's at a time. That's right.
Yeah.
You know it. D-A-N, Dan.
No.
Oh, you mean no? No. Got him. Okay, next one. We're one away from talking about the new Bloodline, but we're going to go with main event. Jey Uso, the man of the hour, the number one contender to Priest's World Heavyweight Championship. He won the Fatal 4-Way on the Raw after Mania. He beat his brother Jimmy at WrestleMania. He's been hot. He's, like I said, he's probably the number 3 babyface on the roster behind Cody and LA Knight. He's getting a nice push. I don't think he's going to win. But this is very tough because it's like you got to go. Like he's been on Raw for 5-6 months, but he started out on SmackDown for a couple of years. This is very tough. But I'm going to go with he stays on Raw. I think he's going to get the most work there. I think with him staying up top, they're not going to have too many baby faces together on a show because he's already done stuff with Seth and with Cody and with CM Punk. I think they want to split this up a little bit. Keep Jey on Raw. It fits him right now, 3 hours. A lot of storylines he can work with. Like I said, I want to see him with that group there. So I got him going to the Red Brand and staying there. I think they found a spot that fits him.
Yeah, I hate to agree with you. I always love to find any reason to argue or disagree with you, but I can't right here. I'm going to have to go Jey Uso on the Raw brand, not just because he's the number one contender, because I think that they're going to stack more on the mid-card, upper tier, mid-cards on Raw to fill that time. Also, jumping the gun a little bit on Jimmy, I think that Jimmy's going to be joining him on Raw as well. I think that we're going to see a Uso reunion at some point, but we're going to have to see them interact. And to interact, you have to be pretty much on the same show. So, yeah, no, I'm going to go Jey Uso Monday Night Raw.
Exactly. And it just fits him right now. I think, like I said, the 3 hours, you get a lot more space. You're going to have a lot more groups on one show. And I think that's why it's going to kind of leak into the next thing with the Bloodline. But before I do, we got a new subscriber. I think who you're talking about. We got Sister Abigail. Hola. So I was just on TikTok. I had some ideas for the Bloodline and Cody. That is awesome. Thank you for making the jump over from TikTok to YouTube. Appreciate the subscription. And like he
join
said,
Miss Sister Abigail and coming over here and join.
Let me in.
The crew. Also, Miss Sister Abigail, we want to hear your ideas. So even though we're not
Exactly.
talking about that specific, still type them in the comments. We'll bring them up and we'll talk about it.
But it's kind of ironic because we're done Jay, and then guess who's next? The new bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bloodline on Monday Night Raw. I think.
And Sister Abigail, if you want to send what you're thinking why we're talking about this, I'll get to your comments as soon as we're done. Do that. So definitely hit us up now in the comment section with your thoughts.
Let us know, sister. Let us know so we can
exactly.
Talk about it. But yeah, no. Also, one thing before we deep dive into it, really, when I Googled list of WWE superstars so I could try to get. I was Googling trying to get some graphics, and I'm sure you already knew this, but Jacob Fatu is already on that list of people in the WWE. There's just no logo behind it. So I don't think this is his debut, but I think that he will be with the new bloodline. I think he'll probably debut and cost Jay the world title match. But I do think the new bloodline will be on Raw. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. And just like you took what I was just thinking, like I've been thinking that for a couple of days. I'm like, how can they really like put a bow on this and kind of package it to a way where you can kind of get the reunion of the Usos? Because we just saw Jimmy Uso got attacked on SmackDown, basically got kicked out of the new bloodline. Paul went to call Roman, and Solo took that shit out of his hand, threw it on the ground, and smashed it up. And it looks like I do have a theory on that. Like I've been talking to you, I think that Solo's not technically the one in charge. He's just the one in charge on TV. I think it's The Rock, and then that's how you're going to get the whole bloodline civil war down the line, is because you find out that The Rock is the one in charge, and he got Solo to abandon his brothers and cousin, and then he's bringing in these guys, Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, on his side. But I do think that Fatu is going to be the one to cost Jey Uso against Damian Priest and a Backlash. You can add him to the list, but because he's not there yet, I'm not going to keep him off just at the 3 here. I think Paul Heyman will make the move over, but I think here, and I think they get a Raw. I think that's how you do this. Like, you're going to say, oh, you got Imperium on Raw, and then you got him on, and you got the group on Raw. You got so much time with 3 hours. You're going to probably have a lot of the big stables on the same show. Like, that's why I think it's more fitting if we get half of Judgment Day moving to SmackDown when they split up. So I got new bloodline on Raw.
I'm right there with you. I like it, brother. Before we go to the next one, I will say this. I see people out there saying that Solo's the tribal chief. Absolutely not. There's not a world where they add Solo Sikoa right now, not the future, right now as the tribal chief calling shots. It's clearly The Rock, and this is going to be to when they bring him back. It's going to be the big moment that it's him. But yeah.
And this
so
is
what
perfect.
Sister Abigail's got to say?
Well, before that, this is the perfect way to put him in the position that Jey Uso was in, where he was kind of like his right-hand man, and that was a way to kind of progress him from just a tag team guy to a main event Jey Uso. This is the perfect thing for him, where you're going to think that he is the guy in charge, but he's actually just the one taking orders from The Rock because he's away right now. But Sister Abigail saying, so basically if they did a Bloodline Civil War.
As you answer that, I'm going to make a quick TikTok, try to get more people in here.
Yeah. So basically if they did a Bloodline Civil War, I would do like Team Cody versus Team Solo. For Solo team, you have Jacob, Tama Tonga, Drew McIntyre, and Chad Gable, I guess, for a Roman team, Cody, Jimmy, Jay, Seth. You see, like there's a lot of different ways you can do this. It just depends on where we are when October comes. It depends on what they're going to put in place here. Will Roman be back by then? How are they going to do with the draft? Like, I do see I think the War Games fits perfectly for the new bloodline. Is The Rock going to be there? Because I could feel like The Rock could be back by then. You could do The Rock. You can do Solo, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga on one side. And then you could do Roman, the Usos, and say like a Sami Zayn or Cody on the other side. That way, with the potential move to babyface with Roman and the Usos there, that it would fit the bill, and that could be like the boom. He comes back. He could have been heel for a little while, and then this is the change. That's when you get the whole reveal that The Rock's in charge of this group. Because eventually, at A-Mania, we're going to get Roman versus The Rock. But I still feel like at some point we're going to get Rock and Cody. So it depends on how they're going to fit everything all together. But I think that you're going to get, at some point, you're going to get Roman's team and you're going to get The Rock's team. On to the next one, as we see here. Of course, let me fix this to add them to Monday Night Raw with our thing. Boom, Raw right there. The next guy is part of this, so I think he's going to get moved to the same show as well. We got Jimmy Uso. And of course, if you're going to have Jay Uso on Raw, you're going to have the new Bloodline on Raw. You got to have Jimmy Uso on Raw as well to team up with his brother again. And you're going to get the reunited Usos back together after fighting each other, brother versus brother at Mania. Like, I think they teased it when they talked to Jay, and he was like, he could have came to Raw with me, but he stayed. So I got more important things to deal with, which is the world title match against Priest, when you get Jacob Fatu getting involved and costing him the title. That's where you're going to see the beginning of him reuniting with Roman and Jimmy as a babyface trio. The deal with the Bloodlines is they're going to interfere in Jay's business, and that's why he's going to come back to his brother and vice versa. So I'm going to have Jimmy Uso going to Raw.
I second that. I second that. I think that we're going to see a little bit of Uso reunion to take on that new bloodline.
It just fits perfectly into a bow there. Like,
yeah, there's no reason why they should mess that up.
Nope. Like we've talked about majority of it. I won't go too much into it with Jimmy since he's the add-on here. I like him. I like the new Yeet. With the Yeet, I think they could still do it as a tag team, and then you can still kind of have them split up as single stars. But just for this, you got to keep them on the same show. You got to keep the dynamic there. Like, you had Jay by himself, which was great, but if he definitely gets attacked, that's the way to bring this Bloodline Civil War 2 ahead sooner rather than later. Have a reason for him to want to get involved, and that's his title shot getting taken from him by interference.
Oh, you agree, sir? TikTok posted. Yep. TikTok posted. We got 40 people live watching us right here. 40 people live. We got 37 on X and a couple on the Tube and one on Twitch.
She says, I'm hoping they don't mess up the draft, though. Me either. Amen. The draft is always on edge. It's like they could do anything there, and then they'll make some sort of way to showcase it as what it is on the docket. But I feel confident that they'll get this right and move to Raw.
Yeah, I feel more confident with Triple H running it than the past.
Yeah, me too. next,
dude, Cage Rage, get people from your Twitter over here, son.
Oh, they're on there. They're on there. We got 27 people tuned into Cage IQ. If you're tuning in on Cage IQ, I posted a post on there from the Wrestling Bros podcast. Up top, it should be up at the top there with the link. Click the link, tune in to the channel, and definitely follow us in the comment section.
Better clock in, brother.
Hell yeah, you better clock in, clock in. That's how we do this shit. You got the next one. This is the juicy one because I got a theory of how this is going to work, and I hope it creates a new group in the process. On here,
we're talking about a new faction.
New faction. It's going to be a remake of a faction, but this is the guy that's going to be the leader of it after something that he did, and I think it's a way to spice up a tag team that can go with them. But we got the newly made heel in Chad Gable.
Okay.
Here. Gable. Yeah, the man that's pissed and right there. Yeah, that's him with long hair, but he's going with short hair. I got him moving to SmackDown. I think it's a perfect move for him. Get him off of Raw, move him to SmackDown. This is the guy that can challenge for the mid-card title. You can keep them moving with the storyline with Sami Zayn that they're going with. I think this is going to be something that can go for a couple months or so, or possibly he could win it right away from Sami Zayn at Backlash, and this could be an easy way to have them continue that storyline. So she says, I call Gable the new baby Kurt. Exactly. He's got the look. He's got the movements. He's doing a lot better. I love him with the suit on now, and down the line, I want to see him possibly be champion as soon as a couple weeks from now. But I want to see him move to Blue Brand and be the leader of a more serious group, not a comedic group, but a serious group. So I got him moving to SmackDown.
Okay. I like the way you went there with it. I'm going to go SmackDown with you, but I'm going to go simply off of my prediction of the wrestlers go to SmackDown.
Ooh, that's nice.
I don't think that he is going to what's his faction name now? Alpha Academy.
Academy.
Yeah, yep. I think that they might be done as far as because I don't see Maxine Dupree. I think she's dog caca. And I don't think that – I think Otis is a good side piece, but he's a comedic wrestler. Now, riddle me this. You said new faction. Does Otis follow in Chad Gable's footsteps? Because a serious Otis? Son, sign me the fuck up. First F-bomb, sorry for cussing. Family friendly here. Family friendly, brother.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Family friendly, brother. But
do us right.
Sorry for cussing. A serious fucking Otis is something to be worried about. So yeah, I'm gonna go throw my two in right here. I'm gonna go Gable and Otis go to SmackDown and Maxine Dupree. Done. Get out of here.
I actually think that the way that they've been showing her, like the moveset, everything has been a gimmick. They're trying to build her up as being nothing, and then she's going to wind up boop, 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 boop. But right now she's doing the lower thing. I think they want to split her up from that group. I think they want to keep her to the side a little bit, see what they can do with her and work from that. I think that this is the start of it. Like I don't want to compare it, but this is how they started Trish Stratus. She was the same way. And then she finally made that move up out of nowhere because they started booking her every week. And that's what you're getting right now with her. But I do feel like an Otis could be, because they worked together. It was just them two and they were tag champions. But I don't think Otis is going to be part of it. I do think that he's going to be more serious. But I think right now you have him build with what's his name right now. I think they keep them together right now with Maxine Dupree, and then you have Otis being more of the number one guy in that trio for a while. But
how
I think
dog shit of a faction is that, dude?
You're always going to have that comedic
Sorry
faction. Yeah, you better be. You better be. You're always going to have that comedic group that's going to get there for last. But I think eventually Maxine's going to break off from it being more serious, and then she's going to turn into a mid-card like female that's going to break out. I think she's going to break out this year. And then these two guys you need that lower to mid-tier tag team that's going to be there that you're going to want to root for, but then that him and Akira Tozawa aren't going to win that much.
Are you saying they're going to be the new Job Squad?
Yes.
Okay.
But for right now, are we in agreement that Chad Gable on SmackDown?
We are.
So we got that right there. She says Otis and Omos can be the Alpha Academy. They both do a bit funny together.
Oh, dude, what if Otis took Omos under his wing?
Hey, no, not to be funny, but on YouTube, Big E did the pizza eating contest in Philly on YouTube, and the two challengers were Omos and Otis. They had to make their own pizza, and then the crowd at Andrew's Pizza chose the winner, and then whoever won got to chop the loser on the chest. So Omos won that, so he got to chop Otis on the chest. It was a very funny watch. You got to see a more human and funny side to Omos.
Nice. So is Miss Sister Abigail might be onto something. We might be seeing a Otis Omos faction. The new The new Bang Bang Gang.
Bang, bang, bang. Hells yeah.
Hey, and also, KJQ Twitter people, go to YouTube.
Hell yeah. Right. That's his gimmick there. Like, he does that. You want to know why? And you want to know what he thinks about this?
So everybody out there complaining, cry me a fucking river.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Scapegoat there. Scapegoat knows that. And then she says, I like that.
Well, we like you.
Now,
thank you for
the second part to my theory group here that I'm hoping happens. This is the second half of it. We got Chad Gable going to SmackDown. This is going to be the second half of the group. The Creed
Bobby
brothers.
Lashley. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You put the Creed brothers.
You put the Creed brothers with Chad Gable. If you remember Kurt Angle with the world's greatest tag team with Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, who were wrestlers. They were a great tag team, multi-time tag team champions. They were there to help him out, and they were both heel and babyface. I think that's a way to get the Creed brothers more serious. They're to me, they're the most talented tag team on the roster right now. But they keep having them lose right now. And you want to break them off and move them to the next level, move them to SmackDown, and make them heels. And they can start that boom, boom, boom. And with this group, I have what's her name with them, the baby Pitbull. I have them paired with them as well, of course. Ivy Nile. You move that with there. That way, it's a four person group. You still have that female there that gets to rub off of them, and then you move her to a heel role. You got a heel like Ivy Nile. You got, of course, the champion in Liv Morgan, who's a heel for right now, and you got Becky Lynch. So you got 3 women already on SmackDown, which is good, with more to come. But I think this would be a huge break for the Creed brothers, pairing them up with Chad Gable and moving them over to SmackDown.
I'm going to second that and say that I didn't think about that before, but when you said that, it triggered. You remember the cutscene where it showed Gable training before Sami Zayn when it showed him in the ring training? Who was he in the ring with?
The Creeds.
So
exactly.
I think that's a good call.
They're cut from the same cloth. He doesn't have to teach them what to do. He doesn't have to train them. They're already trained that of the same mindset. It's just putting 3 of the same people, 4, and I should say, with the Ivy Nile. Don't want to keep her there because I think she is a great worker and she's been improving her mic skills of late, and she's put on great matches. I don't like the fact right now. I think that's how they're going to break off the whole Maxine thing, where maybe Maxine can go to SmackDown and you can have this whole thing with her and Ivy for a while, where you got a babyface Maxine and then a heel Ivy, just having enough of Maxine, enough of her shit. So Creed Brothers and Ivy. Let me put that so people don't get confused, because to me, it's a package deal with the 3 of them. Boom, to SmackDown. So, like I said, Creed Brothers and Ivy now, SmackDown.
I like it. Lock it in.
Hell yeah. That would be a great, like, that group right there, I get their shirt as soon as they got together. Whatever shirt that they put out, I'd buy it. Because I was a big World's Greatest Tag Team fan. And then just thought process here, what brand was that trio group on? SmackDown.
Okay.
Boom,
Let's go.
We got another tag team. We got, just because I want to be an asshole, on boom, #DIY. Because that's what it's posted on. I got to be that clever guy, DIY, the new D Generation X, whatever you want to call them, this. I found out that was HBK's idea, but I'm just going to say it there. So, that's your boy right there, HBK. He's the one who decided to do that. But you got DIY, you got Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. They are the number 1 contenders to the Raw titles. You see here, this could be very tough, because you could easily move them to SmackDown because they're wrestlers, like you said. But we've kind of seen lately the entertainment side of things from them, with the whole DX thing, with the Awesome Truth. They're going to get the title shots here. I could pretty much think that they could win the titles this soon. I'm going to keep them on Monday Night Raw.
Okay. I think that they're okay. I'll be honest. I don't think that they're a horrible tag team. I think that they're a pretty good tag team. That name just drives me ape shit crazy. Sorry for cussing. Drives me bonkers, the DIY. If they had a different name, I might be able to get into it a little bit more. I just hate the name. But yeah, I will follow your lead on DIY. You said Raw?
Yep, I said the red brand, got to keep them on the brand. 3 hours, you're going to see, hopefully you're going to see a lot more tag team based moving forward now. And then they're one of the teams that will be the focus. I do think that they want to keep a great team on Raw and then a great team on SmackDown. And when I think of that right now, I think of DIY on one brand and the Creed Brothers on the other, because they've already had them wrestle each other 3 times already in the span of 6 months. So I think they split those 2 groups up.
Nice. So as we were talking, I was just randomly was thinking, and I added a destination. I added my old House of Mo YouTube.
Nice.
We have 1 person watching on it right now. I'm going to go, as we're talking, I'm going to go set up a little bit of things just so we have a little bit of backstage on it. But the person watching on the House of Mo, brand new wrestling channel, me and the Dashing One have. It's WrstlingBrosPod. Take the
yep.
so if you can find us.
I'm gonna actually post the link to on here. I know for the people that are tuned in on this one, they won't have to worry about it. So I'm gonna actually go over to the House of Mo one, so it just pops up on that YouTube. Boom, there it goes. There's the link right there. Just go there. That takes you to what we're on right now, but on the Wrestling Bros Pod side of things. So you can easily go subscribe and then watch with everybody else instead of just being the Lone Ranger over on the House of Mo.
Yeah, because I don't plan on starting that channel back up, but maybe a couple times I go live on it to see if I can get any of the old crew over here. But yeah, who you got up next while I do this?
The next is the remaining scavengers from the Alpha Academy. In fact, let me fix this right here and post Otis, Akira, Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree. And I probably spelled it wrong, but at this point, we don't care. Boom. You got Maxine Dupree. But whether it's 1P or 2Ps, don't really care. I just think it sounds so great. Eventually, they're going to break up, but for right now, they're together. I think that they stay on Raw. I think he has made the turn. They're not going to like it. He's drafted to SmackDown. They're going to be on Raw. You know, you could move him to SmackDown. You could. And then start something with that. You know what? I'm going to go SmackDown. I think that they move for whatever reason. And that way I can justify something with the Maxine and Io in the future. And maybe there's like a 3-on-3 where you get the Creed to start out. You get the Creeds and Chad beat up on Otis, Akira, and Maxine as a result of it.
Yeah, I'll follow you on that one too.
Sounds good. I think that won't do too much of it, but you know, you do need those lower card wrestlers that can work and put people over. And I think Otis and Akira Tozawa do a great job of that. So we got them going to SmackDown. Here's a good run right here that could work out. But before we do that, got King of Cleveland. Yo, he said, Mo, what's up, brother?
What up, Big Cleve?
We've seen you making your rounds. How did you enjoy your Wrestlemania weekend? I've been meaning to ask you, man, where were you sitting? Because I went to night 2 of WrestleMania and I went to NXT take a stand and deliver. So I want to get an idea where you sat. Like we're at the talking DMs to see how your experience was in my city of Philadelphia. But the next group is New Day. I'll let you start this one
out. Which brand do we have more tag teams on right now?
I think we have 2 on Raw. Well, yeah, I think we have 2 on Raw, and I think we have 1 or 2, 1 on SmackDown. Let me look it up. I think we have 2 and 2, I think, because we have, let me go back. Awesome Truth on Raw, A-Town Down Under and SmackDown. That's 1 and 1. You got, do you want to consider Dom and JD a tag team or keep them separate?
I guess you could consider them a tag team, yeah.
So they would be on SmackDown and that you have right now. So it's, you got Imperium's on Raw. You got Creed Brothers on SmackDown, and then you got. So I think DIY on Raw. So it's almost 50-50, 3 and 3.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go New Day to Raw. I think that they are a kind of show more than go. I think the kids love New Day. I think that's a way. Ooh, hold on. Whoa. Back it up. I talked myself into SmackDown. Going to SmackDown. What's up, Zoe? Reason being, I think that when Raw goes to Netflix, there's a good chance we might get it. It might be a little bit adult friendly. We might get a little bit more cuss words, and might not be trying to draw the kids in so much to where we draw in the adults more. So I think SmackDown, they're still going to want to show that it's kid friendly, and I think that's where New Day can come in and be a nice little push. So I'm gonna go New Day SmackDown.
And New Day has been like a pillar of SmackDown the last 5-6 years, and this year they were on Raw, which was a nice change. It changed things up for a year or not, but just like you said, you got to make the jump to the more kid-friendly show. When the Netflix comes over, they can go back to 2 hours. They're more wrestling based, but they still have that entertainment side of things. And then you put them in the ring, like on a weekly basis with the Creed brothers, with A-Town Down Under. That could be a good sneaky team there. Like I see, like I'm looking at the potential on SmackDown, and I'm like, okay, I think that they're going to fit well with that group there, because they do have the most veteran like experience of all the tag teams that are together. He said, you got King Cleveland says, you guys got a link? And we're probably going to just do the draft. We're almost done it. So, we'll definitely have you on next week, though. Definitely so. We've got a lot of...
We go live once a week now. On Thursdays is our pod, and we normally have a theme we going in. But if you want to be our guest next week, consider it done.
Definitely so. We're 2 hours in, and this is a thing where we want to get through it in a good time. But definitely, like, you're more than welcome next week. We always want people on. This is just one of those ones where, gotta get through
2 hours deep.
Hell yeah. He said, any rumors of Big E coming back? He just posted a thing where he went to the doctor. They said that really no news. It said it's still going to bother him. There's potential to possibly, like, he's going to try and see what happens. Like, he said that it's all his decision, but he wants to be on the brighter side. So right now, there's no news of him coming back in the near future, but I'm hoping that it's something that can change down the line. Like, we don't know. It's a wait and see thing. Right now, I think that could be another thing too. Maybe it's the full people that he posted that, and they're all plans, but I think right now it's just Kofi and Xavier Woods. He said, I've been watching Game of Thrones show. Is super good and crazy. Oh, that's one of my all-time favorite shows right there.
Dude, top 3 for me. Hey, House of Dragons comes back in, I think, June. I don't know.
I still gotta finish season 1. The first time I couldn't get into it.
Dude, anything Game of Thrones, I fucking lock in. Sorry for cussing. I lock in is
maybe it's because I'm a Winterfell Wildling guy, Jon Snow and my guy, the male Ginger Wildling, not the female, the male, because that's my uncle right there,
There you go.
Yeah. Blessed by Fire.
Great show, Cleve.
He says, I'm on season 4, the Red and me up. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. You got a lot more to go.
Dude, I wish I was only on season 4 and I haven't seen it all, dude. I would love that.
Oh my God. Like going back, it's like, boom. They just hit you with everything, One of those shows that I miss. Damn, I can't believe it's been like 3 years since it's been on.
I know, man.
But before I do mine, we got 47 people chimed in, and we got a lot tuned in. Thank you guys for chiming in. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, smash the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then join us in the comment section. We want all the feedback from you guys on the draft predictions. And he said, Zoe said, I can't believe they canceled the Jon Snow series. Sucks. I don't know what's up with it. I was hoping it would happen. Maybe it's because he wants to take more roles, and I think they wanted to see how the House of Dragons does first before they boom start releasing a lot of these different sideshows. But I hope that they bring it back, because that's
anything that has like the lineage how you
Yeah.
can go down a family tree and see how the families are made, and
Yeah.
like that's why I love the House of Dragon, because it's the Lannisters. Is it right?
Yeah.
Like, is it the Lannisters?
No, it's the Targaryens.
Yeah, Targaryens. So it just shows you how their family, dude. It's great show.
Yeah.
All right, who we
So
got
with
up
the
next?
New Day, I got them. SmackDown. That's who it was. We both got them to SmackDown. I agree with you. What you said. It's the more going to be the more family friendly show with the Netflix deal paired with Raw. You're going to have a more edgier show, possibly, where instead of being PG, it's probably going to be more like PG-13 with a little bit more sprinkled onto it. You can get away with more. You got more leeway with the time, and you're going to see a little bit of a difference there. So I got the New Day making the move to SmackDown. So that's the third or fourth team drafted to the show. We got to make sure that we have a good amount on both shows.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got one of my fun picks here. This guy is a wild card, not a wild dog. Not a wild dog. Ruff, ruff. We got the wild card. We got Big Bronson Reed. I want to hear your take first on this one.
Okay, I'll start with Big Bronson Reed. I think that good contender for an IC, nice mid-card title. I think that I'm going to lean Raw. Bronson Reed reminds me of a Raw guy, big meaty guy, more time to fill on Raw. The wrestling guys on SmackDown. Yeah, no, I'm going to go Big Bronson Reed on Monday Night Raw. No really reason except for he kind of looks like a Raw guy to me, and I could see him being a good opponent for, did we say Logan Paul's going to Raw? Well,
Yes.
okay, then see, that kind of takes me.
They've already they've already
that
teased
me my traps, because
they've already teased. Yeah,
they already teased what? Bronson and Sammy.
You remember that he talked to right before Chad Gable came out. He said, "It doesn't matter if you win or he wins." He was like, "I'm next."
See, going into this, I'd written nothing down. We're free balling this. All right, boys.
Exactly.
So the more we talk, you kind of figure stuff out in your head. Yeah. That makes more sense. Bronson on SmackDown because of that. So yeah, I'm going to go Bronson Reed.
And he's more of a wrestler, big guy. You can actually, this is a type of guy where you could see him challenging for the title at like a Fastlane or something against Cody. You can have Cody against like a Bronson Reed, and he could get the push up to the main event scene for Bronson Reed, even if he doesn't win the mid-card champion. But you want to have him do the mid-card title first. And who has it right now? Sami Zayn. If whatever happens between Sami Zayn and Chad Gable goes a while, he could be there and could be a guy that could be in the middle. You could have a triple threat match for all we know, since he wants in on it. Like there's a lot that you can work in with him. You can have him versus Seth Rollins on SmackDown. Like there's potential there with him on SmackDown as like a mid-card / main event future guy. So I like him on SmackDown.
As you do this, I'm gonna go piss out of my big dick. Sorry for cussing.
No problem. We got the comments right here. We got King of Cleveland. Do you think we get Rock versus Rand? Do you mean Rock versus Roman? Because all you put is Rand. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Hopefully you mean Roman. If you're saying Rock Roman at Mania, I don't know anymore. Like at first I thought that was going to happen and you're going to get that. But now I'm thinking possibly we get Rock versus Cody at 41, and then they hold out on Rock and Roman for 42. It all depends on how they do Rock and Cody. Yeah, they could do Cody sooner and then say do that as the January debut on Netflix or something, or like the debut of SmackDown on USA. They could do something like that with Rock and Cody because The Rock is more going to be there part time, but I think the money is right now is in Rock and Cody Rhodes because he's the champion. And that's how you get The Rock to win. And then you can use that. Maybe Roman is the reason that he beats The Rock because how The Rock has the new bloodline on his side. And then you got to get from point A to point B somehow. So I think right now, I got Cody and The Rock at Mania 41. We're getting there. We've got 10 to 12, and we still haven't even hit the NXT yet. So we've got some juicy NXT people. I think we got 5 or 6 left on the main roster, and then I'll start getting to. We still got some really good picks. Trust me. We're going to end with the NXT ones. But first, we got a women's tag team. I got to get them in here. They've been on Raw. You got Chelsea Green. She's an entertainer. She's a sports entertainer. You got Piper Niven, who's been with her. I just watched an interview with the two of them that they've been great friends since being on Stardom. Like this is going to be more on the entertainment side of things. I got these two staying on Monday Night Raw. You got to have a little bit more women here. Like knowing that we've already got Ripley and Bailey on here, I think we need to add more women to the Raw side since we've already started stacking up the SmackDown side. And with it being 3 hours, it's going to move to Netflix. They're going to be able to do more stuff like from an edgier comedic side things. I think these two are perfect for that red brand. So I got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven staying put.
Okay, yeah, I don't know either way on that one, so we're gonna go with following you on that one, pal.
Yeah,
we got 51 live total. Shout out!
Hell yeah! Like I said, we got 36 tune in on Cage IQ X. Like I said, make the trek over to YouTube if you're enjoying what you're watching on the video from X. Yeah, just go to the thing to the top of my Cage IQ X, and then you'll see the post with the Wrestling Bros Pod with the link on it. Just click the link, subscribe to the channel down below where we're at right now, and hit us up in the comment section and enjoy the content with us. Bada bing, bada boom. But you're on the same wavelength with me on this one. We'll just move on. This could be a game changer right here. I'll start this one out. We got the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. We got the new heel right here. You don't want none. He's got the new music, the new look with the all black. Love everything. Potentially going to be a challenger to the world title. He has a match with LA Knight tomorrow night to determine the number one contender. This is a guy that you could do two different things with here. I think he stays on SmackDown. I want him to go to Raw, but I have a feeling with him challenging Cody and then the potential of having him be able to face guys like Seth, a guy like CM Punk, and he's more of a wrestler and he's a heel because we have a few baby faces already on here. You need a hero up top there. I keep him put on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow you on that one. AJ's a wrestler. Plus, we have more big time baby faces on SmackDown. We need some big time heels to go against them. And to me, AJ's a SmackDown guy. So yeah, I'm gonna go SmackDown as well.
Give me AJ versus Seth at SummerSlam.
Yes,
give me that. Give me that match. If he wasn't already challenging Cody, possibly a Backlash, I would say Cody and AJ at SummerSlam.
Watch this. Is there a world that we get reverse sweeped where every pick we say goes off the way?
Hey, if we can't get everything right, then I'd rather have everything wrong.
Amen, brother.
You know,
Amen,
you
brother.
got to go one way or the other. Hell yeah. So, are you in agreement with him on SmackDown?
I am. Special teams, special plays, special players, brother.
There, just like I said, phenomenal one. He's a big time wrestler. I love his personality. He's a fan favorite, but I love this heel side of things. I love bringing back the no one feel. The black. I like the new theme song. I just like everything that he's doing right now. He seems to fit the SmackDown mold. You know, you couldn't make the move over to Raw, but I feel like then you'd be just doing the whole him and LA Knight thing all over again and whatnot. Even though I do like the potential for and then you already have quite a few heels at the moment there. So I think this one fits right there. And then eventually you got like we said, if we're going to have more wrestlers on Raw, you want to kind of stack SmackDown with some good talent.
AJ fucking Styles, brother. Sorry for cussing.
You know it. Bam. The next crew you got is a group. We got the Final Testament. We're going to run through. So the next 5 picks are group/stable. So we got the Final Testament. We got Karrion Kross. We got Scarlett Bordeaux.
I think that we're gonna see Final Testament on Raw is what I think. We're gonna see Final Testament on Raw. I see Scarlett Bordeaux just on Raw. She's raw to me. She's a wild dog, boy.
Wild dog.
My final destiny is Scarlett, but Final Testament is going to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, you're going to see the breakup between them and the Pride. I think show-wise, I think this is perfect because you got Karrion Kross with the look of his entrance. You got the group; they're a heel group. We already have here a couple like babyface groups on SmackDown. We got the Creed Brothers on Raw on SmackDown as a heel group. And then we have 1 or 2, but we've said the theme for Raw is going to be you're going to see more of the groups go into Raw with 3 hours. This is the perfect move. You can push Karrion Kross. Like I would like to see like a Final Testament against you get him and Authors of Pain, and then when you turn Roman and Usos as a babyface trio, that's a trio versus trio match that you can do down the line. If you want to heighten up Karrion Kross, because I see him as a guy that should be pushed towards the main event scene. He should be challenging for titles
I think
on either show.
The only bright spot in that match at WrestleMania was Karrion Kross.
He did great. I did the promo afterwards where he went, hey.
That's kind of what I'm talking about is how he did that promo,
Yeah. I might have bit off too much that I can chew, you know. Yeah. That's on me, but you know what? You know, I did what I did, and now you're going to see the Pride break up because of me creating the divide, because Bobby's not going to like get outshined by Montez Ford. And we'll get to that in a few picks, but I like the pick to Raw. I like the chance that maybe down the line, because we already said we got Priest, we got LA Knight, we up at the top, we got Drew. Those are some great matchups for a guy like Kross. You know, if you want to really push Kross, you get him away from those Codys, those AJs, those Seths, those CM Punks, and you put him on the Workman show, you know, on Raw. That's going to have more opportunity for him and his group. And at the same time, you get a tag team in AOP that can challenge for those titles on Raw. We got the Awesome Truth. We got DIY. I want to see that matchup again that from NXT where we saw DIY drop the titles to Authors of Pain, which is when Ciampa turned heel on Johnny and there. Just a little tidbit facts from the past in NXT right there.
Fact
That's
bomb.
who it, right there. Ba-boom. I think that works great there. And then who knows? We might see Scarlett decide to wrestle because she can wrestle and she has done it on the indies. And with the Raw brand, I could see it happening.
No, please and thank you.
So with that, we got the Final Testament making the move to Raw. Even though I did 2 uppercase instead of just R. So we got that there. Next group here, we got the LWO. We got Rey Mysterio. We got Dragon Lee. We got Carlito for the time being. We got Cruz. And we got Joaquin Wilde. We just found out that Cruz just had surgery. So he's going to be out for a while. That's why on NXT, you saw Joaquin Wilde do a one-on-one match with Ridge Holland on NXT there. See, this is the group. This group's going to float, I think. See, you could move this group to you can keep this group on SmackDown. You can move them on Raw. But I think they're going to go wherever they go, they're going to work NXT as well.
Yeah.
Because I think this is a group that they do so. Oh, and then in this group, I also Zelina Vega is part of the group too in here. So wherever they go, she gets added to here. So, I'll let you start because how do you feel about this one? Like, do you want to keep them on SmackDown or do you want to move them to Raw? Then, how do you feel?
I'll start it by saying we got 40 people on your X watching, and then I'll second it with that. I was working it out in my head. All right. So we've said it a couple times, but Raw has to be a bigger roster. So we have to have Raw have a little bit more people. But with my explanation of Judgment Day splitting up and Finn going to SmackDown.
Can I put a point in? Like, this might help. The next team, just for reference, is Legado del Fantasma. And I think that these two groups have to be separated brand-wise.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, we can knock 2 birds out 1 stone here. So I think we'll see LW on SmackDown and Phantasmo on Raw. What do you think?
Yeah, because LWO's a babyface group, and then Legado del Fantasma is a heel group. And we've already kind of, you see.
Let me tell you my reasoning and see what you think. I think LWO on SmackDown because I think that if Dom's on, I think you also want to separate them from Dom.
Well, we have Dom on SmackDown right now.
You have Dom on SmackDown. I have Dom on Raw.
No,
I have Dom and JD. I have Aldis pulling a wild card and drafting Finn away.
See? So you only have Finn going to SmackDown.
Yeah, I only have Finn going to SmackDown. But so that's I think you got to separate Dom from Ray, and so that's why.
I actually think that you're going to get Dom versus Ray at some point again, and then that's how he retires.
Yeah, we always start with the draft being like, but I just kind of think by the time next WrestleMania, there'll be crossovers, and I think that could be one that is.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay. I think Legado could do better on Raw because more time, more group. I just don't want them. You really don't have too many heels because I don't. With the Bloodline they don't have a tag team. The Usos are going to be more of a babyface if they decide to do tag team again. We don't know if they're going to do that when they pair together with Roman eventually, or if they're just going to be all singles guys with the same purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right now we have DIY. We got the Awesome Truth, both babyface. And then you got AOP, who will be a heel group. And then we have the Creeds going to SmackDown. Let me go up to check on any other teams. So yeah, you know what? I got Legato going to Raw, and I got LWO going to SmackDown, stay on SmackDown. I think that would work great. Exactly. And then it adds a little bit of flavor. It keeps a little bit of flavor on SmackDown by letting Santos go to Raw and challenge for that U.S. championship, whoever has. Because I don't think it's going to be Logan Paul forever, but like I see potential with that, with the switch there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you could also, with knowing that you got Chad Gable and them, you could see them feuding with the LWO. You could see Ray feuding with Chad Gable for the IC title. You know, there's a lot of different things there to work with. And then, of course, I got to change that because we said that we got them to Raw. So we got LWO to SmackDown, staying put, and then we're moving Legado del Fantasma to Raw. Splitting up these groups. We're not profiling like our buddy Chris does a lot. We just know that we got to split them up because they've already been on the same show for the last 6 months, and they need to be split
Basically,
up.
Chris would say, in this situation, the Jedi would say, build a wall between them. But we're not family friendly here. You know what I mean?
Yep. We're not saying anything. We're just saying it's smart to split them up.
We're not saying anything. We're just saying,
yeah.
Chris would have fucking said, sorry for cussing. Chris would have said,
sorry.
Build a wall.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on, we got one of the final two groups. We got Bobby Lashley's The Pride. We got Bobby Lashley. We got the Street Profits. And what's her name again?
Her name is
B-Fab. B-Fab.
Yeah, B-Fab.
I knew what it was. I didn't want to say it wrong, but it's B-Fab. So we got this group. They haven't broken up yet. I do feel like there's going to be a divide, but I think they're going to push it down the line. We got the Final Testament moving to Raw. I don't think that they keep these groups together. I could see them stay on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same way. I think that Bobby can be a good SmackDown guy. And I think you split those teams up. And then if that team ever splits up, you got a good tag team in Street Profits. But, yeah, no, I think they go to SmackDown.
Yeah, and then you keep Bobby there. He's more of a wrestler. You're not going to get a lot of the segments or entertainment side of things from him. And man, with what we have, he could challenge for Cody. You could have a match with him and Rollins. Fuck, you can old school Bobby versus AJ Styles, you know. Yeah, there's potential there. Bobby versus Chad Gable, depending on who the face and heel is. So, you know, you get the Street Profits versus the Creed brothers, you know. Like that, there's potential there. So you keep the Pride on SmackDown. And then you got B-Fab, who has been working as the manager, as she can get into wrestling. Boom. SmackDown's the place for her.
I agree, kind sir.
Here's going to be a hard one right here. The next two, because you're going to have to split them up, but then it's going to be a lot of women involved. First, we got Damage Control. We got Dakota Kai, we got Asuka, and then we got Kairi Sane and Io Sky. So that's a lot of talent
for
women's side.
I'll let you go on that one first.
Oh my God. So we already have Bayley going to Raw. I do see a scenario that they could go as well if we planned it, because they are a heel group. We got two baby faces, as I know, on Raw, and Bayley and of course, Mommy right there. And then I do think we have Scarlett there. So we do need workers on Raw. But this is a big but. I'm making a power move right here.
Oh, power move.
I'm making a power move. They stay on SmackDown. And you're gonna know why after I'm done with them. You're gonna know. But if you're gonna have, because you already have two big names, sort of. And then I also got to remember Charlotte is injured, so I don't have her. She won't be back until, I think she's more of a free agent. And then so right now we have Becky and we have Liv on SmackDown, and we got Ivy too. I think you got to keep this team on SmackDown. So you got the option to be able to do Becky versus Asuka, Becky versus Io Sky. You can do like a Ivy Nile versus like a Dakota Kai. You know, there's matchups there that you can work with instead of just having them put up. We've already seen Rhea go up against them. We've already seen those matchups. I think SmackDown fits them best, especially since they're going to need Dakota with them as their mouthpiece. But they're more of the wrestling base than they are the, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a nice explanation. I didn't really think about them before. You know, I'll go with all that. They kind of seem like the wrestling show. You got Kyrie saying best elbow in the biz.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna follow your lead on that.
And you're gonna like the next one. Like, this is my bold. We stacked the men on SmackDown so we can stack the women on Raw. The next group, we got Jade and Bianca as a combo. I got them going to Raw to join Bailey and to join Rhea fucking Mommy Ripley. Because I want to see, sorry, you know, it happens sometimes as a ginger, you know, no soul and all, but, you know, moving on. I want to see the potential. Like, if you're going to have all those women on SmackDown, you got to have a reason for it. Like, you do have Becky there that's high powered. I do think that Charlotte's going to go to back to SmackDown, possibly. She could go to Raw, but the reason I have, because Jade and Bianca, their team right now, they're not going to stay a team. But if they win the tag titles, they can run both shows, you know. That's the reason of fighting other teams. If they win the titles, you got to have a reason to take the titles off of them. They're going to lose them because of whatever. They're going to disconnect. One of these two, cough, cough, Bianca is going to turn on the other. She's going to turn on Jade, and she's going to go heel. And you know how we've talked about Montez possibly breaking off of the Pride because Bobby gets jealous. Maybe Montez is the one that turns heel. And then maybe that's a trade where you trade, just like Jey Uso. You make the trade to send Montez to Raw eventually. Because I did think that Bianca and Montez need to be on the same show. Not necessarily to start out with. I think you move Jade and Bianca to Raw. That's new matchups for Rhea Ripley. That's new matchups. I would say for her. You can do Jade versus Rhea. You can do Bianca versus Rhea. You got Bailey there who can wrestle them, because you've talked in the past how Bianca and Bailey don't necessarily get along. You get Charlotte to come back and she goes to Raw. That kind of like balances things out, you know, because we've had like, you trying to, like, we don't have the same matchups. Last fresh ideas, and then it kind of, if one of these move to heel, it's going to give you the chances for different things. So I like the potential there with Jade and Bianca moving over, but that it's not necessarily they're going to start as a tag team and then you break them apart in the future.
Nice. We got a couple people watching on House of Mo. Guys, if you click that link right there, if you smash that link right there, It will take you to the new YouTube channel, me and the dashing one, Rock. It's called Wrestling Bros Podcast. Take the E out of wrestling. So you come over there, subscribe. I won't be going live often on House of Mo. I'm just doing that to let a couple people see, to find us and come over. But there's that link in the chat. If you could click that and come over, subscribe, that would be yeah, I see Jade and Bianca both as Raw women.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea as far as we have SmackDown kind of stacked with men. Let's have Raw stacked with women, but we still have good men that can wrestle too. So, but I like that, Jade and Bianca on Raw. I think that they're going to start off being nice to each other and then work their way up to being a nice little rivalry.
Yep, and that's what they're trying to do with this. Usually on a brand, they'll have men stacked up on one side, and then on the other side, they'll usually have women. That way, you get the theme. Okay, this show's going to have more women wrestling, but it's like the thorn in the side of this is always going to be the couples thing. You want to keep the couples together. That's why I said, even though we got Montez going to SmackDown, it doesn't mean he's going to stay there. I do think eventually maybe he gets, when he breaks off with this whole thing with him and Bobby, maybe he gets traded and he wants to be by himself. And then you see him and his woman, Bianca, on Raw together as heels.
I like it.
So we got these two. And then because of who Jade is, she's a attraction and she's not much of a wrestler. They're going to focus on her squashing people and being a big name, and some matchups she hasn't fought. I think going to Raw would be her best move, especially since, like we said, her and Bianca haven't been on the same show as Ripley. And those are matchups we want to see Ripley finally be able to do. So got those two going to Raw.
I like it.
I had a group here, but I think they're going to stay in NXT. So I took them off because I forgot of a big name. Let's go with this name right here.
I believe it's Tippy time.
I almost forgot about Tippy time.
I'll start it. Put her
Tiffany
on
Stratton.
Raw. Put her on Raw. Strap the rocket to her. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like she's gonna be up there. She's gonna be challenging. Bailey's the champion. You got Ripley there. You got Bianca. What if they tease Bianca? You could do that. You see, this is tough because she's definitely sports entertainment, and that allows them to keep her on the same show as Ludwig Kaiser, her off-screen boyfriend. Even though part of me wants to see her go to SmackDown with Becky and with Damage Control, I think Raw is the best plan for her. Future champion and match up there, This could be a situation where next Mania I could very well see like Rhea Ripley versus like Jade, and then see Tiffany versus Bianca just on the Raw side. Stack the women, and this is our breakout star here. Tippy time is red. So we get her. That was kind of easy for me. It was great to kind of audition her to SmackDown. She got into the, of course, the Elimination Chamber. She hasn't done too much. She's done like 2 matches since, won one and then lost one, both against Naomi, ironically. And now you're going to see the push, I see. And then one big thing, this is my pick for Money in the Bank for the women, is Tiffany Stratton. If you're going to have Bailey as the champion and you want a way to take it off of her right away or down the line, have Tiffany Stratton win the thing and then either win it the same night, cash in on the same night, or you wait a little while and then have her do it.
I like it.
especially with Jade and Bianca potentially winning the women's tag titles. So moving on, if we're in agreement with that, we got Kevin Owens, KO Mania. We got he recently challenged for the U.S. Title. He's been on SmackDown after being on Raw last year. He was on Raw, then it was on SmackDown. Basically, I'll let you start this one out.
I don't think KO's going to be. I think he has good matches. He has some good storylines. I think let's keep him separated from Sammy. Let's keep Kevin Owens on Raw.
That's bet there. You keep him away from Raw. He's that main event / mid card guy like Sammy is. You with not with Cody on SmackDown, like you don't have to have him there because we already have Sami Zayn. The fact that he is a really good heel and babyface, it gives you leeway with where you want to work him. Like he can work on both sides this year. It just depends on who's champ and then who you want to face him up against at that time. I see a lot of potential here with who we already have on that Raw roster. Like I could see him versus Cross. I could see him versus Priest. I could see him versus Drew. I want to see him versus Drew. With me having him Drew staying on Raw, I could like there's a lot that you could do with it. Logan Paul, he could continue that rivalry a little bit. Who am I missing? But yeah, so I'm with you on that one. I got Raw. I think they did too much with him and Sammy so far, and I think the plan is to try and keep them separated.
Yeah. At some point, they'll return for a nice little final rivalry type situation or whatever. But right now, let's keep them separate.
So, yep. Moving on, we got. What is that I hear? What is that I hear? Do I hear the voices? Or is that just in my head?
I hear voices in my head.
We got the Viper, Randy Orton. This is main event. He's been working a little bit of mid card, which has been perfect. This is a guy that could really. I'm going to start this one out. I think he goes to Monday Night Raw. I think that's perfect. You don't need him to work. Like, you could easily put him on SmackDown and make SmackDown OP. You have him, Cody, Steph, we're already there. Bobby, like, guys that he's worked with in the past. But if you really want to diversify the Raw roster, you want to add another guy that could either be babyface or move him heel. You move the Viper over to Raw, and he could get away with a lot more, especially if he moves heel.
Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. I think with SmackDown being stacked, we need to have some firepower on Raw, and Randy could swing both ways, baby. I prefer him, the Predator. The Apex Predator, but he can be a babyface if need be. So I think he's a good addition to Raw.
This would be the best bet for him to win another title, to add another world title reign to it. Like we've named names, but it's like that's what makes it so great. If you can add a roster where even like he would be that star power on Raw because you already stacked the deck on the SmackDown. You want that star power where he's a star, but you don't have to have the title on him. He could be a guy that just winds up winning it, or he can do what he's been doing and put guys over, because he's a great worker and you can do a lot of storytelling on the entertainment brand on Raw. And with them being on Netflix, I could see him bringing back the boot to the face.
Yeah.
And being more sadistic.
The punt.
Oh, yeah. That's the golden ages of Randy being on Raw with that smirk right there, Eventually, it's going to be that, then boom.
I agree, sir.
Yep. Okay, let me do this. We got the final two. Hold on, let me move this up because this is where we're going to get gritty right here. Okay, so we got the last woman here because right now I got Natalia. I'm not putting her on there because I have her staying on NXT. I think she stays on NXT for a while. But we got Naomi. You know, you could I could see her moving with the duo over to Raw, moving with our man Jimmy. I want her to stay on SmackDown, but I think she makes the move to Raw with Jimmy.
Yeah, I do too. I think that WWE likes to keep couples together, and I think that she can. There's more time and more opportunity for her to kind of let the star power of the Biancas and the Jades build her up too. So I'm gonna go Naomi on Raw.
The only problem I have is it keeps her and Jade, Bianca, and Bailey on the same show, but then I feel like that's their way of breaking them off from Damage Control. You have to have Damage Control on one show and then those four on another show together because you can always Bailey can go heel again. Bianca could go heel. Jade could go heel. Naomi's more like a baby face. So that'd be the way of like just pointing it out there. But I do think that it fits what she's going to do right now. And it gives you another contender on woman on Raw. So I got Naomi on the red brand.
Nice.
Okay. Now you got one more tag team on the main roster. This is the tag team, but one guy's been missing for the last 6 months due to I think an ACL injury. We got the Viking Raiders. We got Ivar, who's right now he's technically on Raw, but he's been working SmackDown. He looks to be doing something with Obafemi. He looks to be the next challenger for the NXT North American Championship. I like the singles run that they've been giving him on Raw. With the tag teams, I do think that we need another tag team on the Raw brand, but I could see them moving the Viking Raiders to SmackDown, which I like even more, turn them babyface, and then at the same time keeping them working in NXT. So I kind of see this as like to start out, they'll be on NXT, but then they might move up and do NXT and SmackDown. So I'm gonna put NXT.
Nice. Hey, I'm rolling with you.
I like what they're doing now with the fact that we don't know when Eric is going to be back. I think there's still a good 5 to 6 months before he could potentially come back.
Yeah.
That this is a way to let Ivar work a single style for a while. You know, rock down there, the main event mid-card scene. He can put the work in. I like what he's been doing. You know, you can make him a bigger deal by being on that roster with all these call-ups that are happening.
10-4, nice. I'm gonna rock with you on that one. That sounds good.
So for this, we put NXT, but it's going to be more so Ivar rather than the group. But I think once he comes back, you keep him there until next draft. Here's the big name right here. This is going to be a shocker, but I'm doing it anyway. We got Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going to start this out.
Nakamura.
Back to NXT.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like
got
that.
back to NXT. If you're going to have a guy like Trick Williams take the belt off of Ilya Dragunov, who's going to get caught up, and you're going to pluck away a little bit of talent, you're going to need to send somebody down there to challenge Trick Williams, to get the most out of him, to be a nice heel, because you're already taking Dragunov, you're taking Braun Breaker, possibly Baron Corbin, and who am I missing? Carmelo Hayes, and possibly Dijak. You're taking all those names off of NXT. You got to bring a couple back. So we're already bringing Ivar back. You can bring a big name in Nakamura, where he could be the main event scene at NXT for a while, be that dash to the heel to the champion. Could be a nice rivalry that you don't expect with the subtitle promos for a Trick, and go from there. And then you're going to get a couple guys get thrusted up the challenge Trick, but I think Shinsuke Nakamura could work NXT and then be able to possibly work Japan as well, because he's been talking about one to be able to go over and do some crossovers again. So doing NXT allows him to do that.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'll follow your lead on that. Hey, I see these next couple ones are NXT. And my dog's got to go outside, so I'm going to take my dog out real quick.
Okay. So this is going to finish it out. All the rest is going to be NXT. But before we do that, I'm going to run over the last half of the picks. Like I said, we started out with Alpha Academy. I had them going to SmackDown. New Day. We got to fix that. I believe we had them going to SmackDown as well. Bronson Reed to SmackDown. We had a nice run on SmackDown. We had Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Got them going to Raw. AJ Styles going to SmackDown. Final Testament going to the Red Brand on Raw. LWO going to SmackDown. We got Legado del Fantasma going to Raw. We got the Pride going to SmackDown. We got Damage Control staying on SmackDown. We got the Big Swing. We got Jade and Bianca moving to Monday Night Raw. We got Tiffany Stratton, the nice call-up, moving to Raw. Big move there. Future Money in the Bank champion. Tippy time. You know it. Kevin Owens going to Raw. Randall Keith Orton, the Viper, going to Raw. We got Naomi going to Raw. So we got a nice Raw run there after the SmackDown run. And then they'll finalize the last two before we get to the NXT call-ups. We got Viking Raiders to NXT, and we got Nakamura to NXT as well. There's also a couple that I think, like I said, OWO, you could see them floating between NXT and SmackDown, especially if Carlito turns heel. Eventually, I could see him making the move down. I could see Chelsea Green working the NXT brand a little bit to help out. I could see Otis going back down. I could see a couple of names going down that we haven't seen. And then there's still names of like Charlotte Flair. You can see her helping out a little bit for like a month or two. But be prepared. There are going to be names that you're going to out of nowhere see jump down to just help. So just because we aren't replenishing the call-ups doesn't mean we're not going to see names get called down. You're going to see quite a few. I just had to see them in the future. But let's start out with the two couple big names from NXT to the main roster. First, big name here, we got Carmelo Hayes. This is a tough one. He's done everything on the NXT brand there. He's, except for, I think, tag champions. I think that's the only one he hasn't done. He's multi-time North American champion, he's one-time world champion in NXT. This is the blue chipper right here, right now. But Carmelo Hayes, with what I've seen here, it depends on how they work this guy. But I see this guy as a guy that you put on SmackDown. How do you feel about this? You there, Mo? I think he's having issues right now, working on it. But I'm going to go with SmackDown. I like the fact that he could start out with like the mid-card scene on Raw kind of stacked. I feel like if you want to replenish the SmackDown side, you want to be able to give him familiar opponents and top talent that can work with Carmelo. You put him on here. You got Sami Zayn. You got Chad Gable. You got guys of that nature. You got guys like Bobby Lashley, Andrew Dawkins, Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee, Egan Face. You can match Carmelo Hayes versus AJ Styles. You got Carmelo Hayes versus a Theory or Grayson Waller. That'd be great. You got Carmelo Hayes versus Seth Rollins. That'd be a big matchup again. You want to pair then this guy some Judgment Day that we have like Finn versus Carmelo Hayes again that I believe we've seen before. You can do that. Like you want to stack him with the group there. So I got SmackDown for this one. It seems like if you're gonna have some go to Raw, you might as well boom the SmackDown. So I got Carmelo Hayes going to the blue brand. And when Mo comes back, I will let it come back and let him give his picks. But right now, we'll make the move to the next call up. We got Roxanne Perez, 2-time NXT Women's Champion, the current champion. I think the plan is she's going to drop the title either next week to Dana Paxley or Lyra Valkyria, because I do think Valkyria will be called up soon. So I think Paxley probably is the future champion. But for right now, she is the champion. She's a heel talent on the roster. I think right now, I think the plan would be you move her to SmackDown. She is right there, babyface. She's been working heel lately, but this is one that you can shoot in the move on SmackDown. Like with Becky Lynch, the big name there with up the top of Liv. You got Damage Control there. That you got a couple that are up in the main event scene with Io and Asuka, but then you got Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai who are more the mid card scene, and this is a way. And then you got Maxine, you got B-Bam. You got talent there that you can make the push to do that run up the division with Roxanne. Like I'd pay to see Liv Morgan versus Roxanne for a title down the line, or just a matchup there on that blue brand for like a number one contendership shot at a pay-per-view. So I got Roxanne Perez on SmackDown, allows her to go to Friday. You could put her on Raw, but then with Tiffany Stratton on Raw now in this prediction video, I got her moving to SmackDown instead of Raw. Split them two up. It'd be great. And then you can easily have Roxanne Perez continue the heel gimmick when she gets caught up instead of just going switch to babyface. And that'll open things up for her. Getting big time matchups right away. So for the first call up on the women's side, I got Roxanne Perez to SmackDown. Let's go put that there. We only got 6 picks left. So we're getting to the nitty gritty down to the end. So we'll get this done, and then me and Mo will end it for tonight and get you guys ready for next week's draft. This is a big one right here. I have a plan in place here. You got Brian Breaker and Baron Corbin. We already know that Brian Breaker was called up. He technically signed to SmackDown, but this is how they're going to play things up a bit. I think that the plan was to have Braun Breaker up and then even being a powerhouse powerhouse solo artist from the beginning. I think they love the duo so much that I think they're going to wind up packaging them as a tag team with all the stacked rosters right now. They'll allow him to breathe from the main event scene, to not get booked wrongly from the beginning. You book him with Baron Corbin, you get the Wolf Dogs together for at least a year. Then that's where you make the move to have him be a single star a year removed from Cody as champion, getting the belt. That way, it's easier storytelling wise. Because if you try to do it right now, it could get lost in the mid card shuffle, and then booking him out of that will be hard from the beginning. So you start him out in the tag team for a year, you have them dominate, and then boom, win the titles, do a thing at Mania, and then you have them break off somehow. So the show that I have them going to is going to be key here. I think with the sports entertainment side of things with them, we've kind of overbooked SmackDown. I just put Carmelo Hayes to SmackDown. You moved the Wolf Dogs to Monday Night Raw, especially with the potential of having Braun as a main eventer in like a year or two. Boom. These guys can challenge like DIY, Awesome Truth, and whatnot, and they could be challengers every week for the titles. Hell, I could see them winning the titles right away coming up. That's the type of team that's how high they are on this one. The goal here is to protect Brian Breaker from getting lost in the shuffle if he's a solo artist. And like I said, to do that, you put him in a tag team for a while. That way, it kind of clears up the storyline so that when you want to move him to a not babyface, I keep saying it. If you want to move him to a solo main eventer, you need room for him up at the top. So you want to give him time to grow in this team. You get some credentials under him. He gets acclimated to the main roster. And then when that spot opens up, boom, that's when you break them up, take the titles off of them, and then boom, they go to Mary Ray's. Helps out Corbin, and then helps out Breaker. Boom. Moving to Monday Night Raw.
Team Wild Dogs, huh?
Wolf Dogs. Woof, woof. But if you want to call Wild Dogs, you can do that,
Couple wild
hell yeah. So I got them going to Raw. But just to give you a little sense of the last three picks, I had Carmelo Hayes going to SmackDown. With him being a heel, I like the potential of him facing, like, I could see him versus Cody. I could see him versus Seth. I could see him versus CM Punk, yada, yada, yada. All the names up. AJ Styles.
Sammy would be good.
Him and Sammy, I can see that. I got Roxanne Perez. I have her and Tiffany split up. I got her going to SmackDown with Tiffany going to Raw. With her being here right now, that works perfect. Like, I want to see a matchup I want to see in the future is Roxanne Perez versus Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Or
Roxanne Perez, a babyface better than the heel version, but I like her on SmackDown. Plus, Raw stacked with women, so
yes. And you want to be able to add like a main event future star to the mix, and Roxanne Perez adds that to SmackDown. And then Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin to Raw. That's where I'm at right now.
I like it.
Okay, so with the move, this is a guy I could see floating around. I want to see this guy go from NXT to SmackDown to Raw because he's going to be the speed champion, in my opinion. We got Ricochet. Right now, I got him moving down. I don't know why I spelled it that way. I must have been on crack or something when I did that, And then I still am messing it up. Holy shit.
Rico. It's Rico it.
I did have it. For some reason, like, I'm just like looking at it wrong, I still have it wrong, but
it's because we've been live for 3 hours.
Yeah. We got Ricochet. I got him bold move. I got him going down to NXT.
Yeah, that could be good. He could be really big in NXT. He could start working on his mic skills, develop that, maybe develop he's always going to be Ricochet, but let's develop some kind of character, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just Ricochet, like, let's develop something around Ricochet and bring that up.
Like, he worked it last year where he worked the program with Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship. You got the potential where right now he's challenging for the newly named Speed Championship, so he's going to be doing that. But that's something that he can do on the side. You can easily have him do that, but still work NXT because they're only working 3-minute matches. Usually, like its own thing on X. I see him moving down. You get him a lot of reps because he hasn't really worked too much. Like he's been doing this thing with the Judgment Day, but it seems like that's going to stop soon. I feel like. And I see him going to NXT. You get the call down. You already got Nakamura down there. Yeah, that's a name that he can work with. You got Trick Williams. Like you got the names getting called up. Josh Briggs that you can work with. Like there's potential for this guy to work with. He can work with guys like Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Those are great matchups for a guy like Ricochet to put on Barnstormer high-flying matchups. I just think the best route for him is to get called down for right now. Doesn't mean he's going to stay down there, but for right now, you set him down for a little bit, and then you move him back up after helping out the young guys.
I'll second that.
So we got him going to NXT. Bada bing, bada boom. This is one that's going to be very intriguing. We got the family. We got Tony D. We got Tony D. We got Stacks. We got Rizzo. And we got Boom, their lawyer, involved in it too. I see them getting called up. They're about to do this 3-on-3 on spring break-in with the No Quarter Catch crew. But now that they're a trio, since it seems like Drew Gulak's going to not be part of the WWE anymore. That's another story for another day.
That's crazy. Yeah, we'll have to do
But I think Tony D has done everything that he can on the NXT brand. And Stacks has been a great like right-hand man to him. And then you had the other two. It could be a thing where Stacks and Tony D go up as like a tag team while you wait for the other two to develop in NXT, and maybe they go up and down. Maybe they work singles in NXT, but then they go up and down to help Tony D and Stacks on the main roster. I don't know. I don't know how that thing's going to work, but I'm going to post them as a group. But you're going to see a lot of them go up and down, except for Tony D. Tony D is going to stay up because he is the Don, but now he's going to be the Don of Monday Night Raw.
That's what I figured you were going to say. Yep. I like it.
I see. Yeah, I like the potential of that. Like mid-card guy right here. You got the champion who is Logan Paul. And eventually he's going to go off and then be like a more main event guy. So you want to stack up that U.S. title scene, like with him. And with him going there, I see the potential. Tony D versus Kevin Owens, Tony D versus Randy Orton, Tony D versus Santos Escobar. That rivalry reunited after a couple of years on NXT. Like they did it good. Like there's names that you can plug in there. Tony D versus like LA Knight, Tony D versus The Miz. There's plenty of names here that you could do here, but like I see that as a thing right there. If you want to do a tag team, like I know Braun is already on Raw, but with Corbin, you can do the same thing. You can have Tony D and Stacks as a tag team, but like this group gives you interchangeable parts where it could be Tony D and then Stacks and the lawyer as the tag team, or you can see him be more of a manager to Tony D and Stacks with Rizzo, who could be a lower to mid card women's challenger there. So it's like they give you options.
Options is good.
It's always good. Options. Right. Boom. So I got Raw with this one. This next one's going to be hard because I don't know where to put this guy at. So we got the current NXT champion. We got the czar of NXT. We got the Dragon Ilya Dragunov.
Something
As
screams
Chris-
SmackDown to me.
As Chris would say, the White Dragon.
The White Dragon.
The White Dragon. But,
You piece
but
of
we're
shit,
not profiling.
Mark.
Yeah, we're not profiling like Chris does, but
Yep.
I'm just saying. His nickname is the Dragon.
Yep.
Of some
The
sort.
Dragon comes off as a SmackDown guy to me. What about you?
Yeah. Part of me wants him to be on the same brand as Gunther because there's history there. Yeah, but since Gunther's already lost the title, I think you don't have to do that right away. That could be something like a year down the line here. But you got a guy like this. He's going to scream mid-card champion 6 months from now. This is a guy that's going to put on banger matchups with whoever he's facing. I'm picturing, like, I didn't do him yet. I actually forgot to put him on here. Sheamus, because Sheamus just came back. I see matchups between them two. But the big thing here is if we're going to have Braun on one show with somebody we already have on here, like call-up-wise, then you might as well have the other two. On. Like, it's the matter of, do we want him on the same show as Carmelo or do you want him on the same show as Braun? And I think it's better to have him on the same show as Carmelo.
Yeah, I like that.
Here. And
so
like
it is.
I think SmackDown, like with you want to build up that mid-card SmackDown.
I like it. I'm with it.
So we got SmackDown, and I got agenda on here because the next thing is Dijak. I think he's just about done. I think he might have wrestled his final match against Noam Dar, whoever I know. But for this one,
comes off as a Raw guy to me. What about you?
Comes off the Raw guy. He's going to be more edgier with they're going to be able to do more like he is, kidnap people, uphold the law because he is Dijak. He's that guy that he's made the most improvement out of being away from Retribution as he could. Like, you think of the names there, everybody in Retribution, he's probably doing the best right now in WWE because everybody but is gone but him and Meacham. But he's been able to rebound and stay there. He was the smart one to go down to NXT and reinvent his new gimmick, and he's done great. He was wearing the Mr. PLE shirt on NXT this Tuesday for a reason. You look at the last two PLEs, he's put on Barnstormers. Him and Joe Gacy at I think Vengeance Day in the matchup. They did that boss cage match to follow that, and then him in the trios match with Obafemi and Josh Briggs that Stand and Deliver blew the house down. So this is a guy you put on a Raw. I don't know how far he's going to get. He could cap off as a mid-carder, but then that's great, especially since you have Braun and Corbin already there, and then Logan Paul and all those names. So it allows you to balance things out. So I got him on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, he comes off as a Raw guy to me too.
The last name, like there's been names like Sheamus. I don't know what they're going to do with him because he just came back. Charlotte Flair, Roman. There's names that like I left off the list, of course, but I wanted to leave a little bit more room for the cops. It's a name that seems like she might be getting caught up. This isn't a definite, but I have a feeling with how they're going to tell the story with the match. We got Blair Davenport. She's about to do a no DQ match with Soruka Spring Breakin'. She's had chances at the World NXT Women's title 2-3 times. She's kind of been that the edgier heel type character. There's really not much. She's challenged everybody so far, and now she seems to be putting Soruka over to make that move over to the main event spot now. I think she goes to Raw. I think she's that good mid-card person for Raw. You've already had Roxanne go one side, you got Tiffany go to the other, and you've kind of tippy-toe. You can make cases for either side, but I do think that Raw needs another heel, woman's heel, because you already got plenty on SmackDown. So I think Raw would be perfect.
Nice. I don't know a whole lot about her, so I will follow your lead on that one, pal.
So you got Raw right there with Blair Davenport, and now will be the last draft pick that we do. Like I said, we've done about 95% of the roster. I left a few off because of injury. We don't know what they're going to do. Sheamus did come back, so they could keep him on Raw, or they can move him over to SmackDown, or it could be either way. I don't know. That was kind of like a wild card. When I was thinking this, I didn't know he was coming back on last night. I mean, on Monday night and to Monday Night Raw. So, I really have no idea. But, before we wrap things up, I want to thank the 61 people tuned in to episode 3 tonight, the 2024 WWE Draft predictions by your boys, the Wrestling Bros, a.k.a. WBP.
WPB.
Beam. We almost had 50.
We rolled through that. I bet you're not going to find another channel out there that rolls through 95% of the roster, seriously thinking about where they're going to go and giving explanations why. So whether this video gets 50 views or 1,000 views, I feel pretty confident that me and the Dashing One knocked out something that other people are not going to do for you. So if you could, make sure you share this with somebody. If you know one wrestling fan, send it to them. Help us rise up, and as well, when we rise up, we shall rise you up as well. We go live every single Thursday, and we do quite a few videos in between, whether there be shorts or just random videos. We haven't been live that long, only a couple weeks on this channel, so it's a big deal if you make it to this point in the video. If you could subscribe, like the video, all that stuff, it would help a lot. What you think, Cage? Also, Cage, hey, we got a lot of people on your X watching. If you could maybe later put out a post or something, if y'all watching from the Dashing Ones Twitter, if you could after this, even if it's just a portion of y'all, even if it's 10% of y'all, go over and click the link that he's going to do to the channel, and y'all come over there, subscribe to the channel, because it's just like it is you're watching there, but you watch it on YouTube, and it helps us out a lot more. So I'll let you close it out.
And so the 3 big things, if you're just tuning in for the first time, haven't done any of this yet, but you liked what you heard from us and you liked the content we put out today with the draft predictions, 3 huge things that will help the channel out. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button down below along with the notification bell. So whenever we go up live, you guys get the notification right away. And then please leave us a comment if you're watching after we were already live. And comments mean a lot to us. That the like button does as well. The like button is huge. And one big pet peeve of ours is we always try to answer comments back, because we want to make sure that we're listening to you guys, because you guys are the ones tuned in to our long rants. We're live for 3 hours doing the draft preview for you. We're getting you prepared for next week's draft, but we value everybody's opinion. So please feel free to leave a comment on the video after the fact.
Whether you agree, disagree, or indifferent, or if we left something out that you want to know our opinion, drop it in the comments.
Exactly. But as always, this is the Wrestling Bros Pod. You can follow us on all social media, on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. You got, of course, like I said, X, TikTok, and at some point we're going to figure out the whole Kick thing to add to the mix. But luckily, all of the hashtags and the everything is at Wrestling Bros Pod right there. It says Twitter there, but you can find it on all the platforms with that, whether it's, like I said, the Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok. Just use that. subscribe and follow all of our channels so that whichever you want to watch it on, what platform you use the most, we are on it. So you can follow all the content and news that we put out for you. But other than that, we're in tonight's draft prediction show for next week's WWE Draft. We will be back next Thursday around the same time, usually between 8:30 and 9:30 Central Time. If you're on the East Coast like I am, like normal people are in the present, around 9:30 Eastern Time. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just with the peeps on the East Coast. You can follow around that time. Just check the social medias because we're always posting, making a post to let you guys know ahead of time when we're going live and to give you guys the link. But the big thing is make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you know when we're going live. So join us next week for episode 4 and to get ready for Backlash. We'll wrap things up. I am Dash and Cage. This is my man Mo. Peace out, homies.